unfortunately, toward the end, it fizzled out quite dramatically. But they've still been competitive enough, right? It's not like they've been outright smashed every game. It just doesn't feel like the same Outlast that we saw at the start.
Yeah, I think barring that 7-0, I think that they copped at some point towards the end of the season.
Yep.
They were very competitive in those games. We had a few players that we wanted to highlight. We said ACOG, we said people like Relays. They were having quite good stages themselves. Yentai was up there as well. Bailey obviously struggling a little bit, I think, in that last game.
Big time.
Against Chiefs. He really struggled.
0-11?
0-11, I think it ended up being. And I feel for the guy, because it does happen. It does happen. I've been in those shoes before. So yeah, there are positives to come from this team, and I think if they're able to bring it together and sort of get back to that early season form, they can definitely take it to Antic. Absolutely.
The 7-0 that you're talking about, crazily enough, stupidly enough, I don't know how to put this, it's against Circular Spheres. This stage has been... I can't say the words on stream that I want to see, but it just, it's been a strange one. Let's start turning the conversation, to their opponents, Antic Esports. I had so many questions about this roster coming into this stage, Vinny. I was very critical about the Jay Kenner and Lunchbox pickup. I didn't think that it matched the energy of the team, but I actually think Jay Kenner's kind of taken himself down a notch if you maybe take out the stupid flanks he does and all the crazy crap that we see from him. He has actually toned down that kind of shit-posting role that he's always had in OCE.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a decision from the team, if they spoke to him, or if it's sort of an individual thing that he realized, but it definitely seems like he's taking it a lot more seriously, and he's understanding that his life and the impact that he can have in rounds when he actually stays alive earlier is so much bigger than if you say you get a spawn peak and then you get traded. It's great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have as much of an impact. Obviously, flying under the radar for a bit of the season was Scars.
Yes.
Who has now gone out to a plus 17 KD, plus 7 on the entry, and a 71% cost, playing that sort of flank hold / site anchor position on defense.
Yep.
Even talking to a few of the guys around the community, they say that they really think this guy has a bright future. So definitely one to look out for.
It's kind of crazy as well. Like coming into stage 1, we'd heard nothing about Scars. And when he joined this roster, we were all just gobsmacked. You know, how does a player in stage 1, their very first debut season, do as well as he did? You know, he was critical in so many rounds throughout the entirety of their campaign that coming into this stage, we had high hopes. He didn't hit it to begin with, like you said. Now he's starting to hit the strides. Hunter as well has just been absolutely phenomenal. And when you look to, I guess the real glaring issue here in OCE has been the attack win rate really across the board for me, Vinny. It's been something that we've highlighted but haven't really, I don't think we've gone in enough on it. It feels as though the attacks don't have a firm grip or grasp on their own identity.
Yeah, I think the fundamentals in the region as a whole has slipped a little bit in the past probably 24 months in terms of the way that people have been playing out attacks. You see it quite often on maps like Clubhouse where teams are struggling to get things like Jacuzzi Wall, getting CC Wall, and that's a bit of a disappointment. But the teams that really had that high attacking win rate this stage were the teams that were really good with shields or GG because they're GG. So we saw Prodigy was up above 50%, which in Rainbow Six Siege is a great feat because most maps are defender-sided. Obviously, Antic with a 67% defensive win rate is quite high as well, winning 2/3 of their defenses, which is a good start for them, and it's probably something they're going to lean into pretty heavily today.
Yeah, just something to note on that conversation. The only two teams that are over 45% attack win rate, it's not going to surprise you. It's Chiefs and GG. Other than that, the only team in the 40s from what I can very quickly look at, Circular Spheres, weirdly enough, Antic, and currently I think it's Prodigy out on top, as you said, with their phenomenal kind of start to the stage. It has somewhat fizzled, but they need to get back on the bandwagon in our second semi-final, or quarterfinal, I should say. Let's go ahead and have a look at the Vetos. I've been told they're a little spicy, so let's hope we get a Lair in there. That's anytime I hear spicy, I just automatically think we're going to see a Lair. There we go. It's picked by Outlast. Oh.
Something a little different from them. Definitely, I think in these playoffs, we're going to see much more prevalence of that Lair pick. I think a lot of teams would have been saving it during the season, but this is where it's definitely the time to bring it out. Second off with Antic on Club. I think that's a good pick for them. I think they're fundamentally probably a better team than Outlast, and I think they can really show those fundamentals on a map like Club.
Yep. And the final map, Border. Okay, so what I find interesting, we've obviously seen Outlast Lair, final match of the final playday. The only time we saw Lair in the entirety of Stage 1, Outlast lost to Chiefs 7-4. And honestly, they could have won. If Bailey had been a little more on it, I actually think that that game was competitive enough for Outlast to take a point at the very least. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. I really, just looking at the first two picks, the big talking point for me, Vinny, and you can move away from this if you want to, but the big talking point is going to be these teams' attacks, especially when we see like both teams on their own map pick starting attack. They've got to set a tone. They've got to set a pace to begin with.
100%. I think the attacks is going to be what dictates most of the all of the BO3s. I think during these playoffs, we know that every team can defend quite well. The teams that win and go to majors are the teams that win attacks, and that's why GG have been up there for so long. They're so consistently good at those things.
Yep.
Obviously, a little surprising that Antic let Skyscraper get all the way through. That's obviously the map they lost at the start of the season to Outlast. But Border was up, and I think that they enjoy Border quite a lot. So I think, to be honest, Antic probably won the Veto today.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I guess, look, heading into this one as well, just to give the context, we think Antic are favoured heading into this matchup. If they've won the BO3, as Vinny has said, then it's going to be even more difficult for Outlast to try and dig themselves out of a potential deep, dark hole. Speaking of deep, dark holes, Senox, guys.
I actually didn't hear what Rob said.
He said deep dark holes. I don't know what that's got to do with us, but sure. We are going to Lair. That isn't a deep dark hole. So
it is the big one. It's a nice big cave, and it's a good map to go to kickstart the Oceania playoffs. An exciting time as always as we run the gauntlet here locally. Outlast and Antic to do battle first up in this quarterfinal matchup. Of course, the beauty of OCE. There is no tomorrow. There is no last chance qualifiers. Actually, that's not probably a good thing. I'd like to have 2 spots, but alas, the situation we find ourselves in. I don't know what's happened here with the social media vote, but 100% in favor of Outlast. I think we must have only just had 1 voter.
I think someone botted it. Yeah, Antic not getting any love on the socials, but certainly amongst the talent group, they are the favored team going into this particular matchup. That being said, I think Outlast, when they play at their peak, can be very, very competitive, in fact. So I'm probably going in with the expectation of a 2-1 the way of Antic. But we'll just have to wait and see how it shapes up. We haven't seen any best of 3s for a while here in OCE outside of things like the Cup qualifier, etc. So yeah, you're going to jump into this particular game. I don't know what Chef's saying today. We have never scrimmed the Lair. They
called our bluff.
Okay.
Hey, he's got no reason to lie at this point, does he?
My entire setup is pink, including weapon skins. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. We didn't really care about that one. The first one was cool, though. Very good
Oh, no,
information.
because he's got the pink headphones. Cool.
Ah, he does too, yeah. What are you expecting from this matchup, though, in this best of 3? I know Antic... I think in some ways, these two are like polar opposites. Outlast started the season so well, even going back to the opening play day. They beat Antic, if you recall. But since then, you know, they won their first 3 games. They're now on a 4-game losing streak coming into this playoff match. Yeah. For Antic, they've really improved as the stage has gone on, getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those converging storylines that make this an intriguing matchup. Had we have been backing on to the form guide the first couple of weeks, I think Outlast could have even been pitched as favorites in this matchup. But it's kind of flipped, as you kind of are alluding to. I guess map 1, though, could be a little bit more interesting if Chef Jeff is actually telling the truth, and they have not scrimmed here on Lair. Rank defaults, though, on new maps can certainly actually play out decently well if you're committed to them and can play it well as a team. They are starting off defense as well. So strategic depth might not actually be the winning factor here on the first map. It's more so going to be based on execution, which I think Antic probably have the edge with the amount of experience that they have. Only time will tell. Bandphase has played out its double shield. We've seen that time and time again throughout the stage, so don't need to harp on that too much. They are very, very strong. And then defensively, it's the combination of the Vigil and the Valkyrie on a map so big. Being able to contain the Vigil can be tough. And so Outlast not wanting to take any chances on their first attacking half. Equally, the defense with that Valkyrie can gain a lot of information. There's a lot of blind spots on this map, even despite there being a wealth of default cameras. So that too will hinder the defense a little bit, but still a stack of utility that is available. The Azami sneaks through the mirror as well, and both will be prominent here on left.
Yeah, of course, no last chance qualifiers, but the loser of this will play again tomorrow in the 5th place match. In fact, both teams will, I guess, play again tomorrow, because you win, you play tomorrow in the semi-final. You lose, and you'll play in the 5th place match.
Like, that's a really intense schedule, though, when you think about it, and that's why the seeding is a pretty significant advantage being put straight in that semi. It's simply less preparation that you have to do, right? These teams would be going into the week preparing for a couple of games, a few games, if they think they're going to go the distance.
The Chiefs would just be sitting back and watching this game now and having a chill experience tonight. They get to see who they're going to play tomorrow in the semi-final. So I agree, and I think that puts emphasis on seeding and finishing in the top 2, of course, which is where Chiefs and Gaming Gladiators did finish. Now, well, as I kind of mentioned, the winner of this will move forward and play Chiefs. Certainly the better side of the bracket, rather than reigning champions in Gaming Gladiators. So Antic Esports onto the defense here. Lair picked by their opponents, though, in Outlast. Club will be played after this border, if necessary, for this opening quarter final. So 6 teams remain in Oceania. We will be down to 4 by the end of tonight. Fuse in play. We kind of touched on it before, but of course, double shield ban has been prevalent. So no Blitz, no Montang, but the Fuse now comes into the foray. Bailey will lose his life. Scars will get the opening kill. Salma's to get dealt with to keep this wall intact over towards the mezzanine. Nicely done from Scars. That's a good little power play to get the kill, keep the wall intact. That's a big win for Antic in the round.
Should essentially be round winning, unless the defense gets a little overzealous. There's no backup hard breach available here to the attack, and that means that a lot of these positions are fortified even further for the defense. Box able to respond. The Glaze is still up, though, and Relays elsewhere able to find a pick on the Nomad.
He also Warden as well.
Antic are bleeding picks here, and yeah, losing the Warden only bolsters this Glaze further, but it is the last smoke for Ned.
Yeah, no more smokes remaining. Still have one more canister for the Core and Hive launcher if you're ACOG. No more air jabs, one flash. There's the peek from Scars, but he's a bit better with the Vector. Double kill from Scars, doing a tremendous job over towards the mezzanine. He's still got a Nitrocell too. We have a minute left in this round. Lunchbox with the swing, though. Didn't really need to. Round is over. ACOG will go and find a double kill, and Outlast will get the opening round.
You shouldn't be winning that round. You lose your hard breach straight off the bat. You don't have much map control. But they were still able to fight off the back of the Glaz in the back line. ACOG was able to get some good work done, and then we saw the sneak forward in towards sight from the Nomad, again applying really good pressure onto the defense, entering a couple of unfavored fights, and Antic let that round slip away, and they, again, didn't really lose a lot of these main fights, right?
Ooh.
And we saw the shield dealt with cleanly.
Yeah.
It's just a couple of overpeaks.
No hard breach. Then the Fuse dealt with, and then at that point the Glaz. So it's a 2v3. Lunchbox goes for a bit of a walkabout. Now we don't get to see the POV of ACOG, but he gets a double pretty quickly, suggesting almost lining up, I guess maybe a double swing, and he just gets them both. Yeah. But a really good round for Outlast to win, because they had no business in being able to win that.
Obviously, a bit of banter in the chat there. Directed at Relays. Last time he played this map, last outing, it was 0-11, I think, or 0-12? I can't quite remember. 0-11.
It was Bailey, not Relays.
Oh, Bailey, sorry, not Relays. I threw Relays under the bus there. No, it's only Bailey.
But that is the reference, considering Bailey's still 0-1, so Chef Jeff making the point. Is it now 0-12?
Yeah, okay. I'm connecting the dots very slowly.
I think it was 0-11, yeah. So he's got a good memory, the old Chef Jeff. I mean, it was only last week.
How long will the streak continue?
Nah, he'll get a kill here in this half.
Imagine he doesn't, though. That would be rough.
That would be bizarre. At least his team has won the opening round, though, for Outlast. That is a really good way to kickstart the playoff. I mean, if this is their map pick, you got to be doing well here on Lair, but getting that opening attacking round when you had lost the hard breach, you'd lost the Fuse, the Glaz wasn't able to be all that effective, although they did find a kill. Nitrocell at the feet, but Yentire got the kill onto Hunter just in time, and it will not explode, and Outlast will get the opening pick here in the second round.
Yeah, sometimes as the defender in that situation, you can get a little bit fortunate with a delayed detonation, but not that time around for Hunter, who will fall 0-2 to kick off the first map in this series. And again, pressure now being applied onto the defense. And we saw Antic last time around, even with a really massive entry kill, capitulate in the final portion of that first round. So the pressure now ramps up. No real presence up above here from the defense, and so that allows the Ram to get to work. So to the Fuse. And anybody down below for the defense now needs to vacate these positions.
I mean, there's not really a lot of flank potential here, guys. You've got a lot of operators that want to be on site. Feet's spotted. Bailey. Box gives his position away in Tox, but doesn't lose his life. Speaking of feet, well, some are going to get tracked now indeed onto Lunchbox. Default gets shot out as they start to get main control. Chef, though, holding his angle towards Blue Stairs, won that out. Very patient from Chef Jeff. Doesn't swing, doesn't go hunting, just holds his position and gets the kill onto Yentire.
Shield re-aggression, so Chef Jeff looking to lock down Blue Stairs.
I think he can get pinched if he's not careful, and you can see the way he's a little hesitant, but it depends on if he's got any kind of cover. Still 60 seconds, a lot of time in this round, but yeah, very aggressive play from Chef Jeff. See if it does pay dividends, but he does cut quite a lot of a rotational path down to basement off by holding that position. Kenna down at the moment, does have a Nitro Solve, and getting back up, certainly a lot of utility. Scars close by to the vicinity. There is Chef Jeff, knowing there is now one below. Scars will get finished off. Advantage for Outlast.
Yeah, and they're looking to set up this pinch onto Chef, so there's a lot of pressure on him from this position. Warden Glasses will serve him well, though.
And he should get this one. Oh, lovely jiggle peek, though, from Relays. Doesn't get the first shot out, Jeff. Unfortunately, he sees the elbow, thinks better to shoot. Instead, then the quick re-aggress, and he gets the kill. 20 seconds left. Down to just Jake Kenner and Lunchbox. Jake Kenner did get brought back up. Lunchbox doing well over towards lab. Actually, no, that's a TK from Bailey.
He got a kill.
He's still, no, it doesn't count. He's 0. TKs don't count. Bailey's still on a duck, and he is down. It is a 2 versus 2. Lunchbox and Jake Kenner both low. Still that Nitro Solve, something that could be impactful, but he only gets the trade. 3 seconds left. Lunchbox in a 1v1 just sits the smoke, knows he's not planning, doesn't have the kit, and Antic will get the second round.
Wow. Well, they've gotten away with that one. Have Antic.
Bailey might not have died, but he still sold the round. Well, I'm sorry to say, guys, but Chef Jeff's not wrong.
He's actually not. I mean, I'm just really intrigued to watch this round back. Again, it wasn't the best of start for Antic. Hunter dies first. Then there was a lot of pressure on the likes of Chef Jeff to maintain good control of Blue Stairs. They tried to establish the pinch, the rotated deployable shield, who are actually serving him very, very well, and he won that fight out. And then Box anchoring sight, ACOG walking across Bailey.
Is that actually ACOG's fault? I think it might be. If he's running across someone, I think it is a case of just running in front of him.
I think it's a case of just a miscomm between the two. They're trying to cross that diffuser across to that default plant position next to the cabinet. And unfortunately, Box wasn't cleared, so good setup there defensively with the footholes. The
other part of all of this, though, is actually the mind game. Chef Jeff, he's one of the best shit talkers in the region, especially in game, and rightfully so. He's not out of line with anything he's saying. The longer Bailey takes to get this kill, the more we're going to keep seeing Chef Jeff and his antics on Antic inside of the server. 1-1 as we go over into the third round. Outlast started well, somewhat. I mean, to be honest, the first round they probably shouldn't have won, and the second round they probably should have won. So I don't know, actually, we're at an impasse here inside of the opening 2 rounds.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. Both rounds, the wing comm was pretty egregiously thrown by both leading teams. So we'll see if it returns to normality here for the third round, but it is
we see the sends, but no Glaz here. Bunks and briefing here for the third round.
Yeah.
Sends by itself is not always a common operator selection.
And no primary hard breach, so they might be able to use the Buck on main breach, but there might be a bit of an emphasis on the lurk here from the Nook from below, and then pressure above from the Buck.
One Nitro Cell available for Antic. Not a whole lot in terms of utility pressure. Yeah, Lunchbox just getting forced away here, playing top floor at the moment, being a nuisance, looking to deny some entry points, get these goo mines out. Back over towards the mezzanine. Yeah, they will double stack it for the time being. It's all about this top clear, though, for Outlast. Otherwise, the Vert's going to be just too strong in towards sight. So what's the plan for Yentire here on the Sands? The RAUs, are they more for sight? Are they more for top clear? Bailey's made his way in very cautiously off of those shield screens that do go up. But Lunchbox found the kill. The aggression, though, from Ned on 5 HP. Still able to get the kill onto Hunter. Chef Jeff will answer back needed to. Now, these are some very low HP members of Outlast. For Jake Kenner in a 1v3, this is as winnable as you're going to typically get.
He's zoned out by those Bs, had to play time, and there's a ping on him.
Nicely done from ACOG. Good headshot. He's having a good start to this series. Is ACOG. Outlast as well as a team. They get 2 of the opening 3 rounds. And they're looking pretty decent here on Lair.
Yeah, solid attacking pattern there. The clear above was really nice. The sense into the Warden certainly was a little bit dangerous. but the Grim offering some really good crowd control ability there, and they had a read as to where that final player was. As mentioned, good start for ACOG, and heading into the night, he has been a standout performer for the team, highest rated EPS on the roster, and I think has been a big talking point as someone who has caught us, I suppose, by surprise, as coming out of the gates as having a really, really good stage. Again, when you consider the sort of operators that he typically plays as well, more supportive, generally speaking. And so, yeah, he's doing really, really well.
Between all relays and all ACOG at the moment, 10 kills between them. Still 0 for Bailey, so unfortunately the streak does continue for a little bit longer, but I do anticipate at some point he will find that kill. For those, again, unaware, 0 and 11 last week, so 0 and 13 right now.
And on the same map.
And on the same map. Well, that was probably the most defining round that we've had so far. Only 3 rounds, of course, that have been played, but won comfortably by Outlast. To their credit, their sheer aggression works. I don't know how much the ROUs from the Sens had in terms of impact, but they were able to win out, clear top floor pretty nicely, pretty timely. Now 1v3 for Jake Kenner. There was still 90 seconds left in the round, so I thought that was actually a really good attacking round from Outlast. They just back themselves in, get aggressive. It's not always fun to be the entry. It's not always fun to be the first person to go in and risk your life. And I guess in some aspects, that's maybe what you can look towards, like a Bailey, for example. It's just one of those kind of weeks where, you're going in, you're not getting kills. As long as you're getting traded and your team is winning, who cares? But Relays and ACOG, certainly 2 names for the future of Oceania Siege. They've had a really good stage thus far.
Yeah, so Relays just lurking below here in Armory on the Zofia. Maybe able to use the lifeline as an explosive tool to clear positions below. And right on cue, that's exactly what he will do. Now, I don't know if he's waiting for a ping queue. ACOG's the only one on drone, but that's first floor. It was just on that main breach. Probably in anticipation for a potential bandit trick, but that is not to be the case, and so the wall will be opened up cleanly, and that's good perceived pressure for the remainder of the round and a potential plant position as well, although focused now over towards Ops will be the rest of the attack, I think. Lunchbox with a read now that there is somebody down below, and he would be correct in thinking so. Elsewhere, the floor is getting to work and aiding on this clear. Last time, this didn't work out particularly well for the attack. They still were able to go on and win the round, though. More vert pressure down below. Lunchbox considers going to contest, but we'll just hold the line for now. And it's a bit of a standoff between the 2 teams. Yeah, last time it was Scars playing that mirror position, and he was incredibly impactful, got the opening kill. Denied his position from being taken. Oh, that's good. Of course, Outlast still won the round anyway, but Scars losing his life to ACOG. Now up to 5 kills. I will say, though, so far, no opening kills have been converted into a round win. We'll get to that later. We'll see if Outlast can change that directive. 45 seconds with the player advantage. Lunchbox maybe thinking he's got to get aggressive towards main. Still got Mez control. Candelas, though, activated. Ned looking to send these in. Bailey towards Ops. Keep an eye on him as well. Hunter playing contact in towards Display. Can't do much to stop that. Rotero makes its way in. The Candelas as well. ACOG's got the diffuser. There's only 20 seconds remaining in this round. Q-Mine annoying. Same with the F-Not Mine. Dealt with, though, by Ned. Good kill. Lunchbox onto Relays. Shuts down one of the top players in this server. With 12 seconds left, though, starts to get a bit hasty, and Chef Jeff with the shotgun up close over to the entire. Bailey's got to find a kill here now, and he cannot, losing his life over to Lunchbox. ACOG again sharp, good kill, but no time in the 1v3. He will not be able to get this diffuser down successfully. Time runs out. Antic win the round, and that makes it now 4 rounds, guys, where the opening kill has not been converted into a round win. It's a statistic that I like, and usually it's a good indicator that if you're getting these entry kills, you typically get rounds and therefore you get games. But right now, that's not the case here. 2-2. Good response from Antic after losing the previous round. Yeah, the initial clear from the attack over towards Ops right here was really, really good. There's about a minute on the clock, and then we saw the pivot towards an R6 room hit off the back of their Candela. And I don't think that was inherently a bad decision. We saw the overhead and it actually flushed out a lot of those key close quarter positions. Unfortunately, though, the goo mines, I think, were the determining factor. They stalled out that push significantly, and the momentum that I think the attack initially had really petered out. And then Antic were able to reposition to good spots, and the filter in late round was never really that favorable for the attack. So, good stall out there from Antic. Did a good job in being able to confirm that round. And yeah, that entry stat, very damning to start off this game and probably reflective of the chaotic late round nature of the match so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been very back and forth, hard to split these two teams at the moment. I'm not sure who that actually benefits, considering this is the map pick of Outlast Gaming, and they have elected to send this to Lair, calling out the bluff of Antic, supposedly. If Antic do win, though, that's a good question for the couch to ask Chef Jeff if he was, well, honest with his whiteboard.
Yeah. Have they scrimmed this map? So what's the over-under on Bailey? What round is he going to get a kill?
I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on him because honestly, if I'm Bailey and I'm in his shoes, firstly, like I'm playing hard breach, I'm playing support, I'm playing these kind of roles that it's not going to be as easy to get these kills. The job of the team is, you know, the likes of ACOG, Relays, they're fracking out right now. Can I help facilitate and aid them? And it's a team game. If you're going 0-3 but your team is winning, it doesn't really matter that much. But I do agree. I think for his mental, he's got to find this kill soon.
So what's the over-under?
This half. He's got two
So in
rounds
the next
to go.
2 rounds?
I think he's going to. I think he's going to pop
I'll
off.
agree.
I think maybe even this round.
I'll back you in.
I really hope so. Box again plays main position. We are playing lab, by the way, for this round, so very extensive top roam from Antic Esports. Oh, Chef just swings out, gets rid of Ned.
I think it's a bunks.
It is actually.
defense,
Sorry, my tracker's wrong.
That's okay. Wait, what? Hold up. Did I actually just see... This is like the Fisher guy hipfire all over again. Was that actually what just happened? Did he just hit that? And it was another drone fat finger? That was wild. I look forward to rewatching that because I only caught a glimpse of it at the very end. But either way, big pick there from Relays. Up to 7 kills here on map 1. So a standout performance from him. Minute 20 on the clock. And Bailey gets a kill!
There
And
it
it was
is.
off the back of a really clean shot, but a nice trade from Chef. Grounds him back to reality. Minute 10 on the clock and a 3v3. And critically, the fuse now can't get to work from above.
Oh, entry, double, they line up. It's an easy one for Scars to get them both. And now suddenly Relays in a 1v3 scenario. Jake Kenner's going to be able to get Chef.
What is going on?
Relays got them both. Beautiful flank on the Nook, and now it's a 1v1.
This round has had just about everything in it.
Scars should know. Can you hear him running over to get the pickup onto ACOG? I think he would have heard this. Over to bathroom. He does renegotiate his position, but he cannot stop this revive from taking place. Now in a 1v2, but he knows ACOG will be low. 30 seconds. So the onus, though, still on Outlast to make the move. They don't have the diffuser. Scars could push back, play side if he wants. So far, though, doesn't want to give up the vert. And Relays hunts him down on the Nook. Huge round win for Outlast. Bailey gets a kill. It's all happening here in the Oceania playoffs to begin on the quarterfinals. And Outlast looking good.
That was a crazy round to digest. We just saw lineup after lineup, insane after insane shot. Look at this one. I only caught the very end of it. The one tap into another drone fat finger. You're kidding me. Oh, that was the one. That was the one earlier. Bailey with a sharp shot, able to drop Hunter. Then we saw the immediate trade. Then this lineup off the back of the res. As Relays on the Nook just continued to lurk around and catch this defense off guard. Gets the final kill as well. And just continuing to be a menace inside of the server at the moment. And a 3-round attacking half on a new map in the pool sets themselves up for success, irrespective of how this basement site plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think Outlast have definitely shown enough here. Attacking into Lair, they've looked really good, really sharp. And for Antic, well, so far it's been back and forth. They've been able to respond every single time. Opening round, Outlast win, then Antic, then Outlast, then Antic. Can they continue that trend here as we close out the opening half? One more to go. Bailey's on the board. He breaks that dry streak. Relays, though, double digits and, well, single-handedly won them that round. Has been immense. So far, though, Chef playing quite well. Outside of the opening 2 kills from Scars in the opening round, though, guys, 0-5 since. Hasn't been able to have yet such an impact. In fact, when you kind of look at the KD numbers for Antic, 1-4, 2-5, 1-4, 3-3, they're not looking great. Well, on the flip side, ACOG and Relays, while standing out. And so far, that's probably the difference maker between these two teams. Is just your superstars being able to rise to the occasion. That Nitro's knock. Oh, no, not going to work. Thought for a split second maybe Relays would actually move into it, but he did not. So Lunchbox with the pulse, unable to connect via his own Nitro cell. There's one more available on the tube round for Jay Kenner. It's Armory now for Bailey, playing the fuse and trying to put pressure here in towards basement.
It's another holdover towards top blue, and the shield from Bailey here may actually be quite effective in dealing with this. F-Not-Mine gives away his position, but Hunter's being able to vacate. Nobody was sitting outside on that singular window, so it's a pretty free escape for him. Doesn't need to invest much in the way of utility or time or risk his life, and so can now fortify back on Lab. Minute 30 on the clock then, and I think both teams at this point in time will be relatively content with what they've been able to accumulate. Ken is still on the top floor though. Potential standoff against the Jackal of Ned. Is Jay Kenner going to be facilitated here? Or will he be droned? Oh, it's certainly the latter. Now pressured back up above, and Ned will surely cut him off if he enters that line of sight, but vacates over towards the display. And with a minute on the clock, Jay Kenner may actually be able to hit a flank here if his timing is on point, or at minimum, escape back towards site because he hasn't been cut off.
I don't think he really needs to play site though. You've got 4 already still there. I'd rather play cut off or try go for the flank option, so see if he can get in behind them. The only thing is he does also have a Nitro cell, but yeah, I mean, forego that. If you can get a good flank, that's even better. He does eventually make his way back to site though. Almost an opportunity. Smoke was thrown out. One of the slower rounds that we've had so far. Chef Jeff gets the opening kill onto ACOG. Bush trying to come through. Diffuser so far not in the hands though for Outlast. Yentai gets the kill though. The immediate trade back onto Chef Jeff. He's getting a lot of kills, Chef Jeff, but he's also not able to live in these rounds so far. He's died every single round of the opening half. Bailey, pistol out. Shield though now back in his face with 7 seconds left. Relays playing in behind, trying to get the plant down. Inside of support. Headshot available. Yentai won't miss. The plant will be successful from Relays, never mind. It doesn't even matter. Outlast just kill everyone. What a way to close out the half. 4-2 for Outlast. And a really, really good statement that they were absolutely prepared for this map.
My heart almost skipped a beat when I saw the round win confirmation there. I thought maybe the plant was actually denied, but not the case. Outlast able to farm kills before that plant was secured, and a 4-2 half in favor of the attack, not to be scoffed at.
Every single round in that half, the opening kill did not translate into a round win. 6 rounds in a row. That is a bizarre statistic.
We never see that.
Absolutely
Ever.
not. I think usually if you want to generalize a rate when it comes to that kind of measurement, it's like maybe 30%. So usually like 10 rounds get played, maybe 3 to 4 don't get converted, but it's usually quite high figure if you actually kind of track it and watch it. But to see 6 rounds in a row where you've gone and got, and that means, unfortunately for Antic, 4 rounds you got the opening kill and you couldn't convert. That is a travesty. And 26 seconds as well, by the way, on the clock remaining in that round. You get the opening kill. Chef Jeff onto ACOG. It's a 5v4. There's 20 seconds left for them to get in, get plant down. That is a crazy margin. You got to think about it as well logistically. That's a 5-on-3 round win for Outlast because one has to get the plant down. So you got one guy that's not really prepared to shoot. He's getting the diffuser on the floor. You've already lost another player in ACOG as well, who's been one of your better players. And by the way, Relays was the one getting the plant down. So well done from Ned Yentai to find the kills necessary. And in the end, it's a 4-2 lead for Outlast. They go defense as we begin second half.
So Relays then put onto the Scopos for their opening defensive round. We didn't see the Scopos at all in the first half, and on a map as big as Lair, I think you can really get some value from those shells. Understandably, putting the top fragger on that operator, and Relays given the license to roam around here, and of course can switch back to the shell, presumably on site, if he becomes overwhelmed or trapped in a corner. Meanwhile, map control is being taken, and Jay Kenner will lurk below on the Deimos, so he's going to look for a couple of death marks and presumably look to clear vertically from down below and see if he can catch somebody off guard. The likes of ACOG especially will probably be under quite a bit of pressure if Lobby isn't being pressured at all defensively, because he is vulnerable to that vertical play from down below, and Buck also will join Jay Kenner. Big emphasis on Vert. And here is that mirror being targeted. Forces ACOG off this position. Not really much he is able to do. Stacked now in sight. Shell vacated. In fact, that's the second one. So Relays, yeah. Has vacated that. Repositioned back up above. Bailey, meanwhile, able to find a kill.
Oh.
Entry for box.
Was just getting out jeweled there. Lunchbox down to 25 HP. He keeps just trying to take that fight on this angle, and he loses it eventually. ACOG's just better. Don't know what else to say. They both had a pretty much even battleground to play on. Scars, though, does win out against Relays. Deals with the scope pause. So you've got a minute remaining in the round. It's a 3v3. This is not impossible for Antic. I mean, I like the operator lineup that they've still got remaining in this round. The Deimos, the Buck especially from this position down over towards Med. You got the death marks available, which I think is about to start tracking on Ned's position. Good kill from Scars onto Bailey. He's pretty much reawoken in this round. 2 kills in the opening round, nothing since until now. And the death mark actually goes on to ACOG, who does have Nitrocell. 3 gas babes from Ned. So Outlast onto the defense.
Well, they're taking Diffuser through lobby here instead of going for like an ops default. So we'll see how this plays out. There's also Nitro below.
Oh,
he missed
my
it.
goodness. Might still get one. No. I tell you what, if that had have actually hit the floorboard first time, the ceiling, I think he may have got that kill. Plant will be successful. Suddenly a lot to do for ACOG. He's been great so far in this game, but he's not that good. And finally, Antic will respond after losing a couple of rounds in a row, and for the first time in this game, the opening kill translates to a round win. Yeah. Statistics, yeah. I mean, that was just unfortunate. Lunchbox just gets out-jeweled against ACOG, but, you know, a pretty decent attack from Antic all around. It did feel like, though, from like Outlast's perspective, they were taking a lot of fights there early on in the round. You got, I think, a pretty good late-game setup, the smoke, the mirror, and it's like, do you really need to be taking these fights and these duels? Doesn't work out for them in that round. Bailey did also get another kill, so he's well and truly on his way to getting out of the slumps. Relays has been stuck on 10 for a little bit now. Remember, there was one round, of course, where he didn't die, but they did lose the round.
So Dorms then for round 8 as opposed to going to basement. We'll see how this plays out. We are seeing teams increasingly invest above. I think there was an occasion last time out we saw this site where there may have been 3 defenders up, I believe. Every single player was still holding that top floor pretty aggressively.
I'm surprised you don't just go basement here. If you're playing Scopos as well as an operator, like if that's something you want in your wheelhouse, basement here on Lair is pretty good for it. Don't know why they necessarily played at top floor, but
yeah, I'm trying to bring up the defensive win rate on this particular
they might just
site.
they might go somewhat fast here on the top floor clear off the back of the fuse. Hunter pulls the pistol out, unsuccessful with the shots though. Bailey low, getting yellow pinged. The Nitrocell's pretty good. He will confirm the kill. Hunter just really didn't have any kind of backup there. 1 and 7. Bailey with another good sharp shot, and this round probably is over already. Antic wanted to try and pick up the pace. Top floor clear. Doesn't work. Hunter goes fast. He plays that kind of blitz-like shield on the fuse, but no one was able to play behind him, get the trade onto Bailey. Bailey's positioning there was actually exceptional. The fallback, great Nitrocell, didn't panic. 4-2. Not over yet. But Box and Chef, well, they've got a lot of work to do here, and they need probably Outlast to help them out, go for a couple of dry peaks. There's the run across. Glass is activated from there, so the Candela wouldn't have done too much. This is pretty good from Outlast, though. Slow it down. Don't need to be peeking. There's some yellow ping information for Antic to play off. Oh, I don't know about that swing from Bailey. Just as I'm saying, you're not peeking. He goes for the peek. That is a wall, my friend.
Just opens this round up a little bit more, though. Still utility available for the attack. Unfortunately, though, box falls, so it's all up to Chef. And that's the first time we will see bunks and briefing successfully defended. So the off-meta pick in the second round pays off.
Yeah, one of the most played sites, actually, so far in this game, strangely enough. 5-3 for Outlast, and it feels like they are just the better team on this map at the moment. I mean, like, if you had to ask me who wins this game from here, I'm saying Outlast. On defense, Lair, they've picked it. They've played it a little bit better. Credit to Bailey here in this round as well. Good double kill. Thought his positioning was great. Timeout taken by Antic, and rightfully so. They tried to pick up the pace, go fast with the fuse, play behind it. Hunter just couldn't make it work. Couldn't get the pistol out quick enough against Bailey. Couldn't then get the shield back out quick enough either. Having a struggle is Hunter in this match. The all pink setup for Chef Jeff not quite working out so far on Lair.
Yeah, again, I think we tapered expectations a little bit going into this. Pitching it as likely a 2-1 victory to Antic. I don't know if this result so far really changes my mind too much on that, especially compounded by the fact if, again, Chef is actually telling the truth and they don't scrim this map, and they've been leaning pretty heavily into very default strategies.
I'd say Chef's telling some fibs. There's absolutely no way you've never scrimmed this. Certainly doesn't necessarily mean it's like one of your like top priority maps.
Maybe when he says they've never scrimmed it, they may have a little bit, but it may be a low prior map for them.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll actually have a look at their map preference ranking here for Lair in terms of how much they've been banning it, how much it's been banned against them, because sometimes that can give us a bit of a read as to sort of where they sit on a particular map.
Bailey with his best Jay Kenner impression. Hiding the clash.
Wow, okay, so the funny thing is, for Antic, guess what number preference this map is of the 9 for them? Don't look, you cheat.
Well, I actually don't know. Where is it? Tell me.
Number 1.
Number 1 preference?
Yeah, so it's been banned against them 7 times. They have not banned it at all themselves throughout this stage.
Well, I think that's what Chef Jeff was kind of alluring to, though, is that they've called out bluff, right? So, if you, and I kind of posed this at the start of the stage in terms of the map veto process, is you don't want to be the one to ban Lair, because then you're forcing the other team to use an extra ban, which is going to help your map pull out. Yeah. So for Antic, I think they've just kind of said, we're not going to ban it. If it gets through, whatever. But we want the other teams to ban it. We're more likely to then get the maps that we actually want to play. As we go top floor here for the 9th round. Clash employed by Bailey.
So they're double investing to ops here. That may leave them vulnerable to the Deimos below, which we have already seen from Jay Kenner. And ACOG had to vacate this position as a result. So we'll see as to whether or not that is the same game plan here. As you can see, Jay Kenner is once again inside of Armory, and the Buck will help to bolster this vertical pressure down below if required onto site more directly. So this combination from Antic really does have the ability to unlock a lot of these potential positions, and we're not seeing investment from Outlast on this first floor to maybe necessarily directly counter this. A couple of angles, though, are opened up, and so Chef needs to be mindful. A couple of goo mines as well, scattered around. 5 death marks, though, now available for this Deimos to get to work.
I'll find you and end you.
Can Jay Kenner find a way to deal with the clash from down below? Yeah, Deathmark, a bit of a nuisance, but so far not really something you can play off of. Hunter with a peek over towards Mez. Still has the Clutch drone available. Relay is actually the one that get the opening kill onto the block of Chef Jeff. Went from himself a little bit of a flank, and he's got 13 kills, only 2 deaths. What a statistical game from Relay so far. Deathmark once again, though, this time onto ACOG. And this is going to be a very difficult round for Antic to unlock from here. He's still got to deal with the clash. Not really able to play off of the vert all that well. Relay's making his way over towards the mezzanine as well. Bailey's just basically saying, you're not getting through here at all. Going for the shoulder peek. Hunter, though.
He's so
you
sharp.
know these guys are watching this. ACOG has been incredibly sharp so far in this quarterfinal. Outlast on the verge of confirming map point. Provided they can win this round, they will get multiple chances at map point.
Jay Kenner still unable to find the clash. Pressure from the side, though.
Ooh.
3 versus 3, and they have this default position in our plant off, and this is difficult to deny, but there is double nitro.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Good call, ACOG and Yantai, and they get the kill onto Lunchbox. Only 2 remaining now for Antic. 15 seconds left of the round.
Ooh.
Good shot, though, from Scars onto Ned. Still
Nitro!
thrown out, and it explodes perfectly. Yantai and ACOG combined. ACOG got his. Yantai's Nitro's perfect. They don't miss the mark. 6-3, 3 map points for Outlast.
Yeah, I really like that attacking pattern from Antic in being able to flush out ops, and they have that plant position that set play ready to go. I'm a big advocate for that plant position. I remember when the map first came out in my rank stacks, I was always trying to get us to go for that particular plant. Love it or hate it. But as evident in that round, one of its big weaknesses is the threat to the Nitro, and that's why you need somebody on the lurk to successfully sort of back hit the defense simultaneously, and we didn't really have that pressure in this round. Even the vertical down below from Jay Kenner wasn't particularly sufficient in this round. And yeah, with Yentire there with a really, really nice Nitro, lands it absolutely spot on. That position behind the keeper barrier, you're able to get the perfect arc. So lands that absolutely spot on. And the defense rewarded though.
Absolutely. Outlast have looked, well, far and away impressive here on Lair compared to what we saw from them as a team over the last couple of weeks. They started the stage hot, 3 wins in a row. At one point, there were 9 points. They were number 1 in the league.
They were. And
since then, 4 losses in a row saw them dropping all the way down to a quarterfinal spot rather than straight into the semis. The only thing is, though, are we looking at this now as a 3-mapper? Because Clubhouse is going to be very difficult, I imagine, for Outlast against Antic.
Yeah.
Or do you think this spurs them on a little bit and you give Outlast a chance now of being able to 2-0 this? Because I kind of looked at this matchup when we saw the Vetos. I think the guys on the couch were basically saying Antic won it. Had Antic won this map, I would have said 2-0 flat out, but they're playing well, Outlast.
They are playing well, but the thing to really remember is that it's not really a case where we can transpose the results on this map onto the second because they play out so differently. We're going from the newest map in the pool, this massive scale. We're seeing Antic largely run default sort of rank strats into Clubhouse, the longest standing map with a little bit more strategic depth, and you're really going to make it or break it in terms of that synergy and that timing and that execution, etc. So the maps play out so differently. And even this map in itself has been so difficult to read. As you mentioned, right? First 6 rounds, the entire first half, there was not an opening kill conversion. We transition now into the second half with Outlast defending and stacking these rounds. It's been the opposite side of the coin, right? Where we've had, obviously, Antic win the first round off the back of the lunchbox entry. Then we have Bailey and Relays enter as well and win those rounds. So that dynamic has shifted as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's not over yet. Still 3 opportunities for Antic, but it does feel like Lair has slipped away from them and now well and truly in the grasp of Outlast Gaming. Oh, a little bit of an entry battle here. Jake Kenner, no, not quite. At least not just yet. Quiet game from Jake Kenner. 2-7. Typically not the kind of player that we see have so little impact. It's really been Chef Jeff, Scars and Lunchbox. Jake Kenner and Hunter have really struggled between the two of them.
Oh, what's going on here?
This is an intriguing position. Relays top blue, got one, didn't expect the second. Hunter gets the kill, and they can...
It's a good trade.
Get this blue stairs control. Jake Kenner actually gets one on the Claymore.
What? Where was that? Anyway, good trade there. Hunter playing the back line means I have hard breach now in towards a potential B-side execution next to the cabinet. Drone hole.
Was it? Yeah, drone hole.
Okay.
Wow, that's a bit cheeky.
Oh, Hunter might be trapped here. Not inhaling that smoke canister though, but can hold the line for now. He's just out of range and wouldn't have given away a sound cue. He doesn't even know he's still on drone.
As they're well back into this round for Outlast. They've given up a lot of position here to Antic. Only 1 Nitrocell. 4 Bailey, 4 Outlast. Flash avoided, no.
Oh,
White temporarily, but nothing to play off of it. Inside Bailey. Ned just waiting patiently for this push from Antic. Gas Babes are out. 1 more remaining from Ned to continue to delay this push. Right now it's a triple stack. Do they clear Ned properly, though? That's going to be the question. The Nitrocell does hit. Oh, there's a player in the doorway as well. The play going
Bailey,
down from Hunter. Bailey needed to get that kill. Unsuccessful. No more gas babes. Ned having to get up the gun. And never mind. The gas babe, the last one, does go and get the kill onto Hunter. The plant, though, down. And Ned can stick it. No. Gets off it. Maybe expecting pressure. 2 versus 2. Lunchbox. Oh, a good opportunity. Entire hits a lovely headshot. Too slow to react was the young gunner. Jake Kenner in a 1v2 does find one. 20 seconds remaining. Ned low on health. And he goes clearing, guys. He goes clearing. Ken is hiding as he always does, and no time really remaining now for Ned. Ken pops up, watching. 6-4 we go. We're not done on Lair.
Man, we need a replay of like that entire final execute because there were so many mistakes made and Antic were just able to get out on top. That was insane. I mean, most notably, we saw the Bailey swing onto the default plant, didn't deny it. Then we saw the smoke was one tick off denying it. Again, got the kill, but the plant was secured. Then, again, in the 2v1, with J-Kenna having control up above, they mistime it and don't have an opportunity to land that trade. Hunter here sticks it, 14 HP. Able to just get it down. You can see that health bar ticking down. One more tick.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
in time. That's microseconds. We saw another whiff. And then here again, they mistime it. Ned is in no position to contest J-Kenna, yet Yentire's going onto the kit. Obviously, there's nothing he can do in the 1v1. J-Kenna played that incredibly well. Good discipline from a player who hasn't got
So
many kills in this game.
who deserved to win that round?
I mean, ultimately, I think the attack was rewarded, but fine margins off the back of the smoke denial, right? Insane round. We've had a couple of these weird rounds so far. It's been fun to watch.
Just looking at some of the statistics here. Relays has been absolutely above all. 160 EPS, plus 10 on the KD, plus 2 entry, 80% cost. ACOG not too far behind him in a lot of metrics. It's been rough for Hunter though, as I mentioned before. He does find a couple of kills in the previous round, but 0-2 on the entry, not helping. 30% cost, lowest inside of the server. And it looks like we will be heading to bunks once again, which was won successfully by Outlast in the 8th round. Oh, it would be a travesty if Outlast allow Antic to send this one to overtime. They really should be closing out Lair. They've been the better team for larger portions of this game. Relay's getting droned out towards main.
We've got decent control over towards Ops. There was a bit of early contest from below, but that position has now been vacated. You can see the backline being played here. Top floor, Mayor's display, R6 room, that corner of the map in trying to establish and maintain control up above. We don't see the mirror brought out this time around, though, and we'll see if that perhaps just weakens the defense slightly. Grim onto his army. That's great timing.
Box.
That's really nice from Box. Good intuition.
Yep. Really nicely done from Lunchbox. Oh, what a shot from Bailey.
We've seen some really nasty shots in this game.
We've seen some really good shooting. All the hallway position.
Okay, maybe not that one.
That one.
Tough one, though.
Not quite living up to the expectations that have been set. Chance there for Ned once again.
Oh.
Peeks the hallway, loses out the battle, and now the war slowly being lost for Outlast as they are going to give up another map point opportunity. From 6-3, we will now go to 6-5, and I'm starting to panic for them just a little bit. Just an inch, and we've already had these tactical timeouts as well, guys. So we go into this now with no pause in the action, no delay, 6-5. And I tell you what, if Antic send this to overtime, it's going to be very, very tough for Outlast to swallow. A 3-map point advantage would be wiped out. They must win this here.
Yeah, losing tertiary, not the absolute end of the world, though, and so we will see second floor now unlock. Split chance for Antic on the cards here. They won it out in that 7th round. Chef Jeff able to get the plant down in that particular occasion, but then the result flipped back on round 9. Outlast defensively were able to win it back and unlock that particular site. ACOG found a 3K.
That was when they brought the clash, and the clash worked really well.
Yeah, and the J-Kenna clear down below was ineffective. The Buck didn't get a whole lot done either. It looks like they're going to recommit to it, though, so I don't think that Antic's strat book here on Lair is particularly deep, and if it is, they're not playing into it.
Don't bring the Kaid this time around, though, at last. They go instead with the Malusi, but keep the rest intact. And yeah, not much of a change-up when it comes to Antic. I think from their perspective, I wonder if they're just saying, we're going to try and deal with the clash from the Vert. We brought the Deimos, we got the Buck, can we play the Vert and deal with the clash that way?
I suppose from their perspective, the previous attempt was not so much the composition was weak, it was just execution based. I would largely agree with that. And we're not actually seeing Outlast at any point, even with hatches open, send somebody down to contest this. Now, that could be the ace up the sleeve here for Outlast on this round. They might actually try and catch off Jake Kenner and Chef down below by sending somebody. But it needs to be a pretty calculated risk, and they're kind of going in blind as the defense. So we'll see if that's something they're willing to do, assuming Jake Kenner and Chef are actually able to get something done. If, again, they're pretty unsuccessful, then there's really no point in the defense contesting it.
Well, a big opportunity for Antic. Down 6-3. Intriguingly, neither of these two teams have actually been able to win 3 rounds in a row so far in this match. Antic would have to be the first one to do that. And time with the opening kill onto Lunchbox will make things even more difficult. No more bees, no Kawan Hive launcher. And so far, the second half has all been really about these opening kills. They've been converted far more comfortably. Talk about a selection of choice there with the death marks available for Jake Kenner. He will choose the Azami and ACOG over towards Mez. I feel like almost Antic playing too much into this Vert game though, and wasting quite a lot of time already on a site that's so difficult to take. It just feels like the Vert isn't really having much impact, and they certainly can't get close up upstairs because of this clash. They try and maybe just tag team this together, but it ends up as a team kill. Hunter can't survive by either the hands of the enemies or his own teammates. Relays will find the two. They play the clash perfectly. Antic had no idea, again, how to deal with the clash on this site, as Outlast will get the opening map of this quarterfinal. 1-0 up. And a tremendous start for them, for a team that started the stage so well. Sure, floundered a little bit towards the end of it, but what a way to kickstart their playoff campaign.
Yeah, I think they're deserved winners on that map. Obviously, that really tight basement attack that was successful in the end for Antic back in round 10 just prolonged things a little while longer, but they committed to that clash play up top floor. The Vert down below didn't quite work out. Outlast willing to aggress a little bit further around that time. But I tell you what, that was a really chaotic first map, Jakey, and I think sets a precedent of an exciting series.
It certainly does. We'll throw it over to my 3 favorite individuals. That's right, I'm including Marshmata, Rob, and Vinny.
Thanks, Jakey. Beautiful, man. Beautiful game, Vinny. I think that this one, for me, shows that Outlast have some teeth, but obviously, do we mention the Chef Jeff? Like, what do you call it? It's not a whiteboard, a perspex glass? I don't know what the hell he's using.
Yeah, he said before the game that they don't scrim this map and they're just going to be running around a bit, and he has a full pink setup, which was unnecessary, but worth noting, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. They definitely understand the map, or understood the map, sorry. They did lose, but Antic had a pretty good understanding of their attacks. We saw they've had a very obvious plan of taking vertical control for most of those rounds, really opting into that Buck and Deimos to try and get some picks above. But yeah, if that is true, what Chef said, they don't scrim this map very often. It did make it a little bit harder. Obviously, those defenses, they were sort of getting run over a little bit.
Yep.
And yeah, Relays had an amazing game, ended up with 16 kills, did a great job.
Tell you what, sometimes I feel vindicated on the desk. Today I do. Both of their attacks were actually pretty solid. It's not like we saw what we've seen from some of OCE so far this stage, where it feels like they're floundering and they're lost. There looked like a very strong idea of what both teams wanted to do. And, you know, props to Outlast, by the way. Just 4-2 first half on the attack, coming into a best-of-3 series against the team that finished second in the league last stage. That's an absolute statement to make. A couple of individuals with some highlight performances. I mean, realize that's just absolutely absurd. What's that, 16 kills, I think, by the end? You're going up against, again, one of the best teams in the region, probably the best team in the quarterfinals, right? Antic would have to be.
Well, on paper, yeah, but again, like every team has their moments.
Yeah.
That game looked like definitely the better for Outlast. I think Relays was 10-1 at one stage.
Yep.
Had a fantastic game. Definitely carried them a little bit on that attacking half as well. But yeah, not a bad Lair, as you said. Some pretty good attacks. I think those attacks looked a lot better than some of the OCE's attacks on Nighthaven.
Sometimes.
Don't want to mention that anymore, but.
No.
But yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of Lair, but it was a pretty good showing from both teams, I think.
Yeah, look, at the very least for me, it kind of sets a tone, I guess, for the rest of the playoffs maybe, that Lair is something that these teams are preparing for. I genuinely, in OCE, it's really hard to know what teams are actually preparing for Lair. Outside of like Chiefs and GG, I just didn't expect any other team to really be able to pick that up in a 9-map pool. Like, a brand new map in the series, it always feels difficult to know, especially when you're coming to a region that's just underdeveloped. Is that the right? Like, it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, unfortunately underdeveloped, but it was more like we were developing and then we sort of went back a little bit.
And then we went 1 step forward, 7 steps back.
Fair way back. But yeah, it is true. I think also when you're playing in a BO1 sort of group stage, it can be... You can fall into the trap of only preparing a few maps because you know that with the bans and playing best of ones, you can probably get your map choice or one of probably 3 or 4 if you need it. But once you get to the best of 3s, you have to be able to play all of the maps realistically. And again, if what Chef Jeff said was true and they don't scrim this map and they were trying to bluff Outlast, it definitely did not work. Outlast were able to call the bluff and put on a pretty good performance.
Now, in terms of opening kills, we saw 6 apiece on either side. However, don't know if you want to put any salt into this, but Outlast only converted 2 of them.
Yeah, I think in general across the whole stage, that was sort of their...
MO?
Yeah, their MO. Yeah, they definitely were able to get opening picks but weren't able to convert. We saw, especially towards the end of the stage, just really struggling to convert rounds, especially on their attack. So not super surprising, obviously. I think we saw Relays clutch up 2 separate rounds. So definitely came a bit down to a bit more of individual performance. I think in the end, they did understand the map a little bit better. And yeah, it just showed for the first map.
Yeah, little rough note to end on. I'm just going to call it out as I see it. Hunter and Scars just not performing on Lair. I mean... That's a pretty critical... Those are your 2 best players coming into the playoffs. We expected to see a little more out of them, but unfortunately they can't get it done on Lair. So we go to Clubhouse to see whether Antic have any teeth in this playoff series.
Tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back? Can you run that back? I'm trying to play that back. I want that. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, real smooth. Can you play that back? Can you run that back? I'm trying to play that back. I want that. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
So the first quarterfinal underway for the Oceania League as Outlast will take Lair. We now head to Clubhouse, and we've also got a special guest from the couch. No, it's not Marsh Marta.
No.
They're a little shy. It's Rob J. Monday.
Yeah, Marsh Marta's not happy anymore. We hear a bit of banter on the desk. We actually have to mute him sometimes because there is a fair bit of abuse.
Oh.
There's a fair bit of, you don't see it because it's really hard to define, but there is a lot of abuse that we cop from Marsh Marta on the desk.
I didn't know this.
Some of it's warranted because, like,
Absolutely.
obviously, a host like myself, it is somewhat warranted.
Yeah, that's true.
I believe production's even got your drink as well.
Beautiful stuff. As we head into this game, Rob, of course, Guz typically the man of the colour.
Yeah, let me do it for you.
Now, I want your beautiful colour analysis to akin of like a colouring book where you just, the outline is there for you.
Yeah.
Just colour it in.
Okay, I'll colour it in for you. So Clubhouse, right? I don't know what either of these teams are like on Clubhouse. Let's talk through the bans though, the Deimos ban, right?
Yeah.
If I'm someone like Outlast, I actually want to lean into that because Outlast is going to catch Antic off with the little, I'm not going to call them rat plays necessarily, but I want to see a little bit out of Outlast. I want to see them get in their face nice and early. That's going to allow them to do it, alleviate a little bit of pressure. It does leave a shield on the board, which I don't like on Clubhouse. I don't like it. Leaves 2 with the Capitao ban as well. Vigil, is that a target ban for Jay Kenner? It might actually be.
I think both are, Rob. I think the Deimos
I think it has to be.
The Deimos is definitely a target ban to Jay Kenner. Now, as we head into Clubhouse, I think, me and Guz were kind of talking a little bit before about the fact that between Lair and Club, they play quite differently.
Yep.
The expectation then is for Antic to respond. I look at this now as a 3-mapper. I know that you guys on the couch were very much in favour of Antic winning the
100%.
series outright, and that was my belief. Credit to Outlast, though. I mean, they've been on that decline. 4 games lost in a row coming into this. They get Lair. Apparently, they called Chef Jeff's bluff, and it's worked wonderfully. They win the opening map. Can they bring that momentum now into a first half where they're on defense Club?
Well, this is the best place to do it, right? Like, there's not many maps where you're going to, like you would with Clubhouse, have such a defender-sided map. But for me, that goes out the window when you look at things like the shield operators and what Antic will bring. If I don't see a shield from Antic, I'll be really surprised. They really need to be, for me, they have to be leaning into this early meta. We saw it with the clash in the last round of Lair. It's just so critical to so many takes nowadays. Like, obviously, clash defense side, but you just see how much can now start to, I guess, transition into the conversation of the new meta. Sorry, I'm dropping my pen everywhere. But I'm excited for this one because
I'm excited too, Rob, because you're on the.
Oh, it's exciting. I haven't done this for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty. And again, I don't mind the little spawn peaks, but now it keeps Antic on the front foot. It keeps them on their toes, mate.
You're doing some wonderful colouring in right now. I need another book for you to colour in on the side.
That's the only colouring I do nowadays, mate. That's the only colouring I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued to see how Antic are going to respond in this opening half. They should feel far more comfortably on this particular map. I think Guz actually alluded to the fact that you've got one map that's brand new. They haven't scrimmed it. They haven't played it clearly. They were just running around ranked kind of meta, whereas Clubhouse, it's methodical. It's structured. You know exactly what you're going to get. You've played it over and over and over again as we see the Maverick working over towards the CCTV wall. It is, of course, Cash and CCTV to begin. So an intriguing site choice here by Outlast. They don't go basement. Heck, they don't even go gym bedroom, Rob. They go to the tertiary site to begin. We'll see if it works out. They bring the Echo as well. Not always one that we typically see here on this particular site. ACOG over towards rafters and Relo's playing lounge down below. So they do get the wall opened up, pretty comfortably for the most part. And we'll see what Antic can do from here now. I imagine they're going to want to try and deal with relays over towards this lounge position.
I'm interested to see how this double garage hold works out. I mean, Yentai has been pretty sharp this entire league. If they can kind of manipulate that with ACOG, I think they're going to have a little bit of a rough time here, Antic. And you look at the timing, you start to think, okay, where's the focus going to be? Because they're no longer in the building. They're not face-checking anything toward garage. But this might be big. That opening engagement was about to be massive for Chef Jeff. Granted, a little bit of luck, if you will. That's cheeky.
Yeah, that's a ballsy nitro cell that doesn't work out. Now, we've still got a minute remaining, but Antic Certainly know the fact that you got that Roma down below. They haven't put any work in towards Garage, so ACOG still holds over towards Rafters, so it's a con-side hit now, Rob. So they're going to have to make their way and open this wall up. You've got Lunchbox still on the Grim. You can get that Kwan Hive launcher, can't get to pressure. That's an aggressive swing through the doorway. Now, Hunter technically did get the opening kill at the exact same time, but we are still in even numbers, 4v4.
The entire going down, so it alleviates a little bit of pressure over towards Garage, but there's no attention whatsoever from Antic here. Conside stacking up a little bit. Relays, does he go for a run out? He knows that he's got the opportunity to just play that Thorn in the side. That's a free shot. This is what happens. You leave it open, they swing twice. Ned nearly gets a double. Hunter, though, he's lucky. Lucky for now.
Good shot, Hunter, onto Ned, and knowing that he had to track back towards site. Not a lot of time remaining. Continues to push further, but loses his light to the player top red. Relays, too good. ACOG as well. The same two that popped off on Lair, popping off to begin on Clubhouse, and it's a really solid start considering tertiary site.
It's from my perspective, again, I'm not a color commentator. I'm not an analyst anymore.
Not a caster anymore.
I'm not a caster anymore. But I look to the Garage take, and I see two players in there that are just uncontested the entire round. Meaning, when we get down to the wire here, there's absolutely no pressure coming out from Kennels. There's no pressure in Garage. Those players can play freely, and it just it cuts off that direct line of sight into cash. Tech pause, unfortunately.
Welcome to the tech pause era, Rob.
Yeah.
Usually you can just sit there back, you're just on the laptop, you're just chilling, you're watching.
I'm relaxing over there.
But you don't have to waffle on through these tech pauses.
No, we don't.
Now, this is a tech pause on the side of Outlast, unfortunately. I actually don't imagine they would really want this right now, because I think from Outlast's perspective, it's like, we've got this momentum, we played really well on Lair, we want to try and take that into Clubhouse. Talk about the balls on them as well. Cash and CCTV, first up, they win that as well. Now they can go basement into gym bedroom, look for that 3-0 start. Can they find it? We'll see. If they do, then something pressure on Antic. But for Antic, they do get a bit of a respite now here as well in this tech pause. A lovely opening round for Outlast. If you're Antic, though, you've probably got to question your method of attack. You don't put any pressure into Garage.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough from there. You've got really no proper clear over towards Lounge. You haven't got any pressure red stairs. It's essentially a con-side push, and that's it.
Yeah. Nothing. You don't have any. There's no other option.
You don't even have like balcony control looking into like CC window, cutting off the Rafters player or anything like that. There's no nitro cells. So at the end of the day, I think from Antic's perspective, it is only the one round, but the site that
Yeah, it worries me a little bit, Jake, because we've been talking about it a lot on the desk. The attacks in OCE at the moment, they just don't. It doesn't feel like they have the same structure to them. It's been, I will say, as a bystander, it's been a little disappointing to see, I guess, the progression, or rather regression, to where the attacks now sit. Because back in the day, we used to see, like, if you were not pinpoint perfect on your attacks, you'd get absolutely walked all over. Nowadays, it's completely changing. Mr. Michael Gascari is rejoining us here. But Jake, I don't know if we're giving the mic back.
No, I honestly, I think you're doing a tremendous job.
I don't think we bother.
Doing some lovely colouring in.
From an SLI caster, I tell you what, that means a lot coming from the SLI Grand Finalist caster. But I will say, one thing me and Vinny were talking about on the desk.
Yep.
And before I leave, because I'll give it back to Guz, an actual professional colour
I don't know,
commentator.
maybe I should just go and have my lunch or something.
I think maybe you should. I mean, is your dinner over there?
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's up to you.
But
do you want to go grab a bite?
I was thinking to be professional and actually just commentate. That's my job.
No.
Unlike my co-caster who's like, no, forget
about it. Look, he's walking off again. He's trying to get as far away from the situation. But again, reverting back to the serious comment, we need to see more out of the attacks. And for Antic, on a map like Clubhouse, this is your map pick. We know that it's mini-game heavy. You need to see more pressure. And that was like a minute 20 before they were in the building really applying pressure to anyone outside of the Roma, Jake, which that just in itself causes concerns.
Well, I pose the question then, is Antic the kind of team that's a little bit over-reliant on sort of their lurk game through players like Jake Kenner and Scars? Like, is that just the best way that they win rounds?
I don't want to say yes, but I would say that from everything we've seen from Antic, I don't want to say yes, but yes.
The top teams in this region, at least, you know, the likes of Gaming Gladiators and Chiefs, they've got the ability to unlock site without having to win off of lurks, to win off of roams. They've got the ability to execute as a team. Now, the blitz in towards Secret here from Antic. Good position. Now, you can... That doesn't necessarily, again, mean that they're just going to rush this. I don't see anyone towards dirt right now, so I think right now for box, it'll just be sit tight, eventually try and make your way in towards blue, open up the hatch in towards stock, put pressure into that generated position. So decent right now from Antic simply because of the fact that Outlast aren't playing up above. No roam game. You've got relays towards main stairs, and that's it. So you're allowing Antic to get into these good positions.
Yep.
That's a concern for me. But it does also mean that from that roam game, lurk game conversation I was talking about, you're not offering that to them. So you're taking away one of their strengths.
Which is good. At least it constricts them to the site. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Lunchbox being on the Blitz. No.
You took a while there.
No. I'm a fan of Lunchbox, but maybe I feel like he's still yet to be unlocked in the OCE League. It's a lot of pressure to jump in on your very first debut stage and have to compete at this level. For me, I want to see him on a gun. I want to see someone like Hunter or Chef Jeff take that shield and get into positions where you can enable a Lunchbox, where you can enable a Jay Kenner. We've seen what they're like. They're incredibly sharp. But as we start to once again look at the time, how many of these hatches have we opened? How much pressure do you have on site? The answer looks like, Jake, none. It's taken way too long to realize there's no roam.
Admittedly, you can get these opened up pretty late and still make them quite effective. And I think what's going to end up being the big linchpin for Antic in this round is going to be through blue with that blitz. That's going to be one of their big win cons. And so I would be shocked if we don't see eventually someone rotate towards dirt. That dirt side, blue side pinch is really strong in towards the back of Arsenal, when then others can then hit a moto drop or through main stairs, for example. 60 seconds left. And clearly, because of the fact that Outlast didn't really contest up above, Antic are slowly, yes, but surely now getting to work with getting at least a lot of avenues for the attack in this round. I don't want to say must win, but this ends up being a rather big round. You're already down a map, it's basement. You've got to try and steal one early here, and there's that blitz.
Got to keep it close. That's the big thing here. You've got to contest. There's no pressure from dirt, and there's no pressure from blue at the moment. I think Lunchbox just ran away from that after they threw the early smoke. Ned gets the opening engagement as well. With 30 seconds left, there's just not enough pressure. Are they just going to drop here and send it?
Yeah, Kitchen, Moto, Scars is also in there as well. Hunter's just dropping, trying to get the diffuser down. Now they've lost Relays and Ned. Couple down. The trades come back through Bailey onto Lunchbox. The plan is actually successful. Intriguing. It's over towards default. No one to deny that. And you still have the Nitrocell from ACOG. Up close though. Yentai with the Vector very strong against Hunter. But a player up above in Kitchen that you have to deal with. Towards main stairs we go. ACOG very slowly but surely making his way over. 30 seconds left. Scars actually towards blue. So it's a one player in Kitchen at the moment. Chef Jeff waiting and ready for the fact that he's getting pushed. The skeleton clear up close is so strong. Here's Scars with the rotate from blue, and Antic will take basement.
Reapplying pressure to blue there. Absolutely pivotal. Absolutely pivotal. I thought we started to see Lunchbox rotate away. I think he rotated up to the hatch. If you leave blue open there are way too many options to try and deny that drop from Kitchen. One thing that I want to start looking at, especially for Antic, when we go back to replays here, I really want to keep an eye on the drone usage and how many of these drones are getting denied early round.
This is some Xenox replays.
Oh, the OGs. The OGs. So for me, I look at like the drone economy and I ask myself, at a minute 20, minute 30, there was only 2 drones left on the board. And for me, it takes Antic a little too long to get in the building, a little too long to know that there's no roamers. You don't have the vigil on the board. It's not easy to run around on Clubhouse. It's a constrictive map. You've only got 2 ways up and down. Yeah. So realistically, you need to try and find these pre-placed drones as early as possible. Deny that so you're in the building a little earlier. Granted, I'm picking on them and they won the round. I'm picking on them and they won the round.
Well, I'll pick on Outlast then just a little bit, and I think it's just coming down to the fact, how do you allow the default plan to go down? ACOG alive still has a Nitrocell, so you need to get yourself into position, throw that over. You've also got to make sure, you have to understand your win con. Deny a plant, you probably win the round. The other thing is then in the post plant, when that plant is successful, you don't want to split 1-1 like that, because then suddenly it's down to the fact that if I don't beat Chef Jeff, we're going to lose the round. Just double push up main stairs, swing together, get the kill. Now, at that point, then if it becomes a 2v1, you can actually then leave one up above if there's like, say, look, you don't know where Scars is at that point. You don't really have the information. He could be looking to retake Kitchen. Then the other one drops the hatch, straight on it, off you go. So, look, either way, 1-1. Outlast will be disappointed. They do lose basement, but they win tertiaries. Somewhat signs, if you think back to Lair, where the opening couple of rounds was like, oh, Outlast were playing bad, but they win. And then Antic were playing bad, but then they win. That's kind of been the nature of this series. It's going to be about who can make the less mistakes.
Who can make the less mistakes, Michael? I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but I'll take you back in soon.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Real professional work over here.
I'll tell you what, at some point we'll get you back on the cast tonight. I thought you did a tremendous job, and honestly, one of the best casters in the business, even after retirement from the bald head himself, as we get the Guzzler back in.
Have I lost it?
No, you're still good, mate. Okay. Your colouring in is just a little bit better. You don't quite go out the lines. You keep it in.
It didn't sound too bad from the sidelines. I was watching.
It did well.
Watching the Phenomenal Ops team, the combo of Sky and Nuttery. They were doing some good stuff.
They were. Well, it's been an intriguing start to Clubhouse, somewhat similar to Lair with the way things have kind of gone out so far. Guys, as we now head to Gym Bedroom, we started on Cash and CCTV, again for those maybe only just tuning in, and Outlast ended up winning the tertiary site, but then losing Basement. Church Arsenal not going their way. Got a little position here from Relays over towards Garage, trying to see if he can catch someone. And honestly, if he has not been droned out, I would say he could be good for one. Eventually, Antic will want to send someone towards the balcony, especially outside gym window. Just a matter of time, and patience just has to be there for Relays because he has been opened up. Bailey inside the gym. Nitro Cell's good. Chef Jeff will go for a dip in the jacuzzi.
It's got its cover on it.
It does have the cover on though, unfortunately. Ned will get a second kill. Lovely positioning over towards top main from Hunter, but is the damage already done? Default shot out. Takes a little zap of this mirror window position of bathroom. ACOG ended up finding a kill onto Jay Kenner. Over towards gold. Hunter does get one. Ooh. Almost line up there, but in fact it was good from Relays. He doesn't quite line up. He ends up getting the winning kill. And Outlast will respond on the top side of Gym Bedroom.
Well, Rob's off for a smoko, so see you later, mate.
Just the cheeky little dart with Marsh Martyr. Are you going to leave Marsh Martyr on the couch over there? They've both gone off, the two desk mates.
Working hard. Or hardly working.
Hardly working.
I'd love to be able to break down that round for you, Jake, but I did jump in about halfway through, so I have not much of a clue as to what actually happened.
You got in actually at the time when it was still 5-5, so I would hope you could break down some of it, but admittedly, there's not too much to break down. I mean, it's just a Nitrocell through breach, an angry Chef Jeff.
Who's he calling the C4 to, mate? It's in your face. You got to shoot it. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, Outlast just taking some gunfights, pretty proactive on the defense there on Gym Bedroom, and they win it out 2-1. Typically, through 3 rounds of defense club, you would probably say 90% of the time the scoreboard looks like this, but they didn't win Church Arsenal, so we go back there.
Is Bailey there? Hello? Bailey?
5 seconds to go.
Well, he could just be AFK.
Oh, he's checking defaults. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Attackers must locate and
I mean, to be fair, there's not much that he really can do right now on the 2 brow. It's not like he's got prep util.
Oh, I was just hoping he hadn't treadmilled or something.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, he wasn't treadmilling, he was standing still.
Wow. Okay.
If you think about it, I mean, treadmilling is kind of just standing still, but you're moving.
Sometimes pros fake, and other times they do not.
And sometimes they get opening kills. Jay Kenner will get rid of Ned. That's a very early opening kill for Antic. Will there be another one over towards main? Relays, here's him outside.
Relays loves playing this aggro position mainstairs. The amount of times we see him here is insane.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, no. He's got a
he's already made sound cue. Oh, right side. What are you doing? Okay, does get the kill. My goodness.
That scared me.
I had a heart attack. I'm like, why are you checking left? You know where the bullets are coming from.
Oh, he's going to re-aggressive the strip. This guy's a madman.
Maybe he thought it was like a double push from strip. Like, either way, 4-4. That's some way to get a response after losing Ned early in this round.
The thing is, he can actually force an attacker to commit on this cutoff now. He doesn't need to peek into this. He can just chill there. And Antic either, again, needs to post someone up, cut it off, or send a second player to help pinch. So this is actually a pretty good position. They are going to go for said pinch, though.
This is where if you're playing the Scopos, you could just transfer back to site.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was playing it, but they did play Scopos and in this area. 90 seconds. Oh, there was a player outside the window, but he didn't full check it. Relays would be kicking himself. He gave it one of those old half checks.
I think you got to respect that cutoff a little bit more. A good team.
And especially when it was well known that he was being hunted down. They knew where he was around strip. Like, at that point, it's far too early in the round to think that they're just not going to look to cut you off.
Yeah, you can half check that when there's 15 seconds to go and you are pretty certain that it's been vacated, but not a minute 15 or a minute 30.
So with a minute remaining, 3 players each remaining inside of the server. 1 Nitrocell for Bailey. And 3 Zoto canisters still remaining. I don't know where they're going to be super impactful. Can just throw them on the floor and look to delay any kind of push. Could even put them at the bottom of this hatch if you try to go for the plant off the drop.
Whoa!
Oh, Lunchbox has found a beautiful angle.
You don't get many free kills in that
No,
position.
you don't. And they will go off of that as well. Candela to follow in towards blue. There is that Nitro Cell kill though from Bailey onto Hunter. Diffuser in the hands of Scars inside of Arsenal right now. Bailey in the hallway. He's got 2 players swinging him. Oh, he almost got them both. Got just the one. Lunchbox sticking the plant inside of Arsenal. ACOG has the yellow ping information. Thought maybe he'd get off it, and he did.
No.
He gets off of the plant. Oh, but he wins the battle, Lunchbox. Big win for Antic.
Wow. How has he won that?
He probably shouldn't have won that, to be honest.
Well, he got scared off the plant. I don't know entirely how long was left. It looked like
Not long.
half a second,
It was
maybe?
at the point where you just commit it. It's like probably half a second, as he said, and yeah, wow.
And it didn't honestly look like he had first shot in that engagement either, so... Against an ACOG, he's looked very sharp.
It might have also, though, been, in the end, just enough to throw ACOG off, thinking, is this plant actually going down or not?
Bailey did well to get one here, by the way. Good
Almost
flick.
got the second.
Yeah.
And yeah, was not much time. Oh, he just pops up. Oh, there's the caster camps. Yeah, we love the excitement. Yeah, we have fun here.
Attackers have located a bomb.
We do have fun here.
Well, there is the Scopos picked out by Relays. So that is now 2 attacking round wins on basement from Antic, which is quite concerning if you're Outlast. You can't really be giving up more rounds, but that is,
5 seconds to go.
I mean, fundamentally quite poor that you can't win the basement side on Clubhouse as defense twice. Once I can forgive, twice not. No.
What does he get the kill? Opportunity.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, he had to hold it for a bit longer, and I think he would have got it. Or potentially got it. There was just that pause.
It just feels like the tiny little things are going away from Outlast, right? You think about the half check on the comeback from Strip in the last round, even here holding out for the opening kill. Just these tiny little things slowly going the way of Antic in this map.
So Ace Jacuzzi and Maverick from Main Breach.
Oh, head.
Oh!
Ooh, Bailey, good shot.
Well, that 50-50 goes the way of Bailey.
I thought it was going to go the other way, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
I thought he was dead.
That was a good read.
Could this Nitro Cell go through? Previous lineup, Bailey, throw, and good? No. Hunter was able to just scram out of there. This is an aggressive hold, though. Relays in gym. Has he been droned? I don't... No, now he has. Oh, that's an intriguing use of the impact.
We're going to see this Scopos trick where you can't actually shoot that particular position. You can't vault over it because of the wall behind it.
Can break the camera.
Yeah. We're not going to see any explosives.
Do you ever risk the transfer back later in the round?
It's certainly something you've got to be mindful of. I mean, the attack doesn't have like a frag grenade or a J. Kenner lifeline, for instance, to impact it. So I think you can flame it, though. Though we're not going to see that. Although I've never tested that. I'm assuming you can flame it with the blowtorch.
I'm honestly thinking like 20 seconds left in the round at that point when they're hitting a site. Do you go for a transfer and eventually then just, fall back in behind? You don't really need like a double stack top red, for example. I'd rather a flanking Scopos.
Yeah, I'll be keeping a keen eye on his card to see if he does go for it.
Especially when you're up 5 versus 4. You've got the numbers. You could certainly go for it. Anti in position, top red. Nitro Cell, well, gets thrown with, well, not a lot of information, but does do a lot of damage. Scars inside a con, just hoping someone will peek, and honestly, it feels like that's been the attacking foray in this round for Antic, just hoping that Outlast will give them something. And there is a peek from behind the bomb chassis. Candelas go out, the push coming in as well from Antic. ACOG will get the kill onto Hunter. Pistol to finish it off from Scars, looking to confirm the rest of top red, going for the revival. Lunchbox. This is super ballsy. He is the only one that is left remaining, though. Outlast had the numbers, and they will take this site once again. So it's an inverse. They're able to win the tertiary, but they can't win the primary.
Yeah, the res there was an act of desperation. Unfortunately, the round was all but over there at that point in time. A rather one-dimensional hit in the end there from Antic. They had to have full trust in the flashes. They all had to land perfectly and then followed up by kills, and that wasn't really the case there. They did deal with the Scopos, and then that meant that the flank threat was no longer an option. However, the rest of the backline played it really well. It was like top red and even CCTV. I don't think there was breach pressure, which really did compromise that attack. But really, from here on out for Antic, any round attack win is a bit of a bonus. But unfortunately, Basement up next, it might be tough.
So, I mean, I'm going a little early here in some ways because I want to talk about this before the series is over. But who do you think would actually be the best challenger for Chiefs? You've got Outlast as one, where I think the fragging power of the likes of ACOG and Bailey and Relays, like they're clearly talented individuals and they can get frags and they can win duels and roams. But then Antic, they kind of look more like a traditional team. I'd say like a Chiefs light to a degree, but I feel like that would match up well against then someone like the Chiefs, who really should be able to do everything fundamentally better than what Antic put out. So the question is, would an Outlaw, say, maybe have a slightly higher chance of upsetting a Chiefs?
In a BO3 or in Clubhouse?
Oh, I'm talking just, in the semi-final, if whoever was to win this series.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I mean, given how Chiefs are playing with Jigsaw, only won best of 3 against GG, but they pushed them.
I mean, I'm not saying either of them
press.
would win. I'm just saying who would maybe have the more likelihood to cause an upset.
Of these two?
Yeah.
I don't know. Veto dependent. I think Outlast maybe.
I feel like the ceiling of Relays and ACOG feels the highest.
Ooh.
Speaking of, Nitrazol to open up against Jay Kenner, and that's your hard breach. Or you've only got, what, tin can openers. In fact, only 2 remaining, with Chef Jeff and Hunter both having 1. Since when can you angle?
Oh, has he nitroed him all the way outside? Wow. I mean, that's the power of the new lineup. I don't know if we actually have any replay of that. Potentially not.
I don't know what he means in terms of the angled it.
Well, typically the nitros have to be thrown almost horizontally or parallel to the bars, whereas he's found a way to do it at an off angle.
That's just previous shenanigans, though.
I don't think I've ever seen a nitro that deep, though, from that position, ever. It's pretty crazy.
Can they close off the round with this opening kill? So far, it's been a little bit better in that department when it comes to this map compared to Lair, outside of the opening 2 rounds.
I mean,
Jake
really
Henner's
backs
had a
them into
rough
a
one.
corner.
1 and 6 for Jake.
And map 1 wasn't great for him either, from memory.
Back on map 1, 5-8. Got the Montang as well, but you're now down a player. So really, you've only got 3 players that have got gun in hand with a minute remaining. You still haven't cleared out positions like Bot Maim, the Castle Barricade, the Vulcan Canister. The Montang wants to push dirt, but who's playing off it? You can't. It's a lot harder to double stack a Montang in dirt now when you've got less players available. Candela's in towards blue, ends up being a pretty big win con, but you've also got the Warden and Bailey. Glasses can go active, so that Candela going into Arsenal won't be as effective. 1 gas bay remaining for Ned. It seems like they want to get going here, and Scars will get the opening kill. Relays, good pick. He's been a great player in this series so far. Down the hallway with the Montang, pulled the pistol out temporarily. Bailey, though, gets rid of Scars. Box answers back. Vulcan Canister will burn out Lunchbox, and the plant to go down from Hunter. Got to deny this plant. Chef Jeff up in kitchen. The plant does get denied, so in a 1v2, though, Chef Jeff does have to drop. With 15 seconds remaining, he's hoping to maybe find a freebie. He almost got one on the run back from Yentire. And knows there's one inside of dirt. 8 seconds left, pulls out the Skeleton Key, but they push together. Nicely done for Outlast, and they finally win basement at the end of the half. We are at 4-2. Outlast are only 3 rounds away from 2-0ing Antic.
Yeah, really strong defensive hold there to cap the half. Outlast. Great nitro off the rip from ACOG, and then they were able to play into that man advantage. Eventual hatch drop did come through. Hunter, though, taken down, was forced off the plant. Chef from that angle above on the hatch and kitchen can't watch every point of denial. And so that was probably the right play, just unfortunate to lose out that fight. Really good pressure from the defense. It was well synced. And then not over-peaking and feeding really much at all there to Chef. With the final remaining defenders.
This is going to be the hard part now, though. Attacking club, Antic on defense. This is where I think of Antic, I think of this being their strength. Like defense club. As I said, kind of they remind me of like a Chiefs light. We'll see if it works out. I'm also curious to see how aggressive they get on the defense. Like you got Jay Kenner on the solos, but he hasn't been playing well this series. Is the confidence still there? Can he be aggressive? Will he back himself in to win these duels, play the roam game? Lunchbox on the Azami. How aggressive will this defense be for Antic? Do they just play 5 down below? It's been a pretty solid game from Ned. 9-4 here on Clubhouse. Think back to Lair. He was 8-7, so he's been able to keep the same pace, if not go a little bit higher. And one of the better games, Bailey, well and truly out of that slump from last week now, and 6-3 in this game. ACOG playing well. I think there's more that you can get from Relays. Super talented team. Certainly one for the future, but right now looking to make their time now. Can they make a semi-final? They are just 3 rounds away, but it's 3 attacking rounds on club. It's not an easy feat. Hunter. Does he go for the full wide swing? Had he done so, he would have been rewarded. He would have got a free kill. Scars gets it anyway onto Yentai. Just caught napping outside of main stairs. And in the end, Antic will find the opening kill. It was going to be either Hunter or it was going to be Scars, one or the other. And in the end, it was Scars.
Yeah, basement, a really pivotal site here on club. I'm looking at the O stats for the stage. It's exactly a 50-50 split between attack and defense heading into the night.
That's appalling.
You know what's even... I'll bring it up when the site comes up, but there's an even crazier statistic on this map. We'll talk about it later. Good start, though, for Antic. Can't complain about that. They can fall back now with a lot of denial utility as well. Double Nitro, Gas Babes, Keeper Barriers. This is going to be really, really tough for Outlast to break down. And there we see the rotation fully back to site. So to bunk it down for the next minute and a bit. A couple of tools still available, though, to the attack, to be fair. They have some hard breach. They also have the ability for Buck to open up Vert, but the nature of this side and the setup that's been brought, there's just so many positions that can't really be cleared outside of a hatch drop or some kind of, you know, blue/dirt hit. And they don't really have the manpower or a shield, for instance, to help back that up.
Yeah, just trying to go through that checklist. You can see opening up the ability to push down bottom main, swing in towards Arsenal with the Buck Skeleton Key opening up a lot of these floorboards. But Antic are well set. They've got the extra number. They can hold every single avenue of attack from Outlast. I mean, it's just one of those rounds now where you're just going to have to get, honestly, a little lucky. Hit some really good shots, time these shots perfectly. Hope maybe someone peeks out here, but no one offering a whole lot. 25 seconds. Unfortunately for Outlast, looking like this round's just going to be null and void. Probably ends up almost being uncontested. There's 15 seconds left, guys. Like, you've got no time now to mess around. And it's looking like it'll be a triple stack in towards blue. Flash goes out. Can they clear anything? Ned does get a kill on the entry drop. Gas Babe goes out. They will start to all blue inside of blue. They're blocked off. Keep a barrier in the doorway, and they don't want to waste any time because, again, there was no time. So that's exactly why they were doing what they were doing.
He didn't have any skeleton key ammo. That's really unfortunate. All it takes is one buckshot there to open up the wall and at least create some space dummies, and he didn't have the ammo. Obviously, that's not the only reason why that round kind of went a bit wayward there for the attack, but certainly did not help. I feel like we've seen that mirror window positioned at least 6 times during this cast.
This is actually top-notch quality production right there. It's a very inside joke.
Should you explain it a little bit?
How many years ago was it now when we did the...
I think about 3.
It's been at least 3-4 years now, back when we did one of the gauntlets here locally in Oceania. And one of the games I got on the replay sticks, I had some fun, and there was quite a few rounds where the replays were literally just people reinforcing walls.
Oh, boy.
That was fun. Replays
Look, to be fair, that
job.
wasn't really a highlight round for the attack, so there wasn't much much else to replay, let's be fair.
Shout out to Isaac, usually one of the GOATs when it comes to replay ops.
Well, he wasn't that round.
Not that round, though.
Usually is, though.
Usually is. Yeah, can't help but think this one's kind of got border written all over it. I'm not going to lie. It's going to take something special for Outlast to win this. I mean, maybe comes down to the tertiary sites. I'm not actually sure who has defense on double defense in overtime if we get there.
What do you think the attacking win rate here is, Jim Bedroomos?
50?
No. 64 to the attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's not... You know how I said before, there's an even crazier statistic? It's not on this site. So hold your breath and wait for the third. It gets crazier. But it does mean this is a really good opportunity statistically for Outlast.
Well, I mean, I guess what you're getting at is maybe, yeah, this top floor.
This is going to be a telling round. If you lose this, especially in a convincing fashion, it doesn't instill a lot of
It
confidence.
shouldn't be that way, though. This is supposed to be one of the better sites. Jacuzzi gets opened up, though, with relative ease. Inside, of course, can deal with the mirror window, provided there's one in bathroom looking in towards Jacuzzi. I would imagine there would be. Con single wall getting opened up. Good drone here in towards Cash.
No vert opportunity, everyone's still outside.
Mirror window has been dealt with. Hello, Rotero. Goodbye, Rotero. Oh no, ACOG! He's gone and slipped and fell.
There must have been a banana on the roof.
Whoops, daisy. You could honestly like replay that with like a little Mario sound.
I think that's copyrighted.
Yeah, that absolutely is. It depends if it's
Mario and Rabbids.
It
I'm
could be
pretty sure
like
that's
Mario
Ubisoft.
from Lygon Street, like. That wouldn't be copyrighted.
The Melbourne references are getting a bit extreme.
And Hunter will deal with the Entire, and now I was going to say with a very low health ACOG, it's going to be a difficult round. But Ned getting the kill into Jake Kenner, handy. 1 and 8 for Jakey. Struggling a little bit here on Clubhouse. 60 seconds left. Nitrocell will miss. Smokes go out. In fact, top main smoked off. Not ideal for relays. Can't push through. I really hope this doesn't end up being a similar round to Basement, though, where there's like 15, 20 seconds left in the round, and then they make the push. Time to get going here. You got a little bit of pressure towards main. Box gets rid of Ned. Oh, there's a player for free inside of Logistics. Can't get the other player in the doorway who was just shooting at you before. Should have really got that kill. So it's down to just ACOG, who slipped and fell off of the roof, landed on his butt. And it's a double stack, actually, just outside of bathroom. Does he spot? No, he's checking towards Jim. And eventually gets swung. And Antic, don't need to bite those fingernails. Chef Jeff, you're on defense club, but it's all working out.
Yeah, they've just been able to lock out the worst defensive site here in the region on club. Again, very convincing.
Boop.
I'm assuming he was trying to land on the platform below. It looked pretty intentional. But we just, at the final portion there, like 45 to go, Ned's in a nothing position outside Kennel's breach. ACOG's still stranded on the roof. There was just a real lack of synchronization on that push, and I just don't think they really had any clear idea as to the win con in that round, which on Clubhouse, it gets exposed so easily. It's made really obvious from an outside perspective when a team does not have a win condition that they're playing into.
I think Jake Kenner needs to shave. If he shaves, he's going to start playing well.
Is that your excuse?
Absolutely. Get rid of the, what do they call it? Bum fluff.
I don't think it's bump off, mate. Jeez.
So 4-4, and timeout has been taken by Outlast as they look to circumnavigate what ends up being a tricky second half.
We're going to the site. We're going to the
They
site.
are going to the site. Cash and CCTV.
Cash CCTV.
Bring it up, Guzzler.
I will give $1 million to whoever can guess. This goes to everybody watching the stream. Whoever can guess the
Have you
attacking
got $1
win
million?
rate. The attacking win rate here in Oceania for this site. It's been played 18 times. Attacking win rate. Give me your best shot.
Well, I'll
Round it to the nearest percent.
I'll do like a little 5-second countdown. Twitch chat can have their guesses. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you can
Attacking win rate.
Yep.
I'm going to say 15%.
Ooh. 22.
Oh, I'm pretty close. 22%. That's it on Cash and CCTV from 18 attempts.
And I feel like we've been storylining this side as being a massive drop-off defensively, but for whatever reason, this stage, they've been cooking.
Is that also including this game, like the numbers from the first half? Because if it isn't,
Good
then
question. I think it refreshes at match completion,
Right.
I think.
well, we know the Outlast ended up winning it twice in the opening half on defense, so that just further adds to the statistic.
Yeah. I really hope no one got it right in chat. I don't have $1 million, unfortunately, and I'm not taking out a loan.
Just don't open Twitch chat. What you don't see, you don't need to. You don't need to answer.
Yeah, true.
Mirror window over towards CCTV. So the Glaz, the Montang, not a fan. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Oh, they're not. Yeah, they're not bringing the Grim. Capital was banned out, and those are two staple attacking operators on this side typically.
I wonder if this is going to be like a con-side push with the Montang and you station the Glaz outside CC window or something. Surely this is not a Rafters clear, is it?
I don't think you can play Rafters into this comp. How do you clear Scars? Like what?
Yeah, that's what I'm
utility?
saying. Like we've seen though before. I can't remember, and I don't really want to name names, but I remember a Montang just standing at the door and Glaz playing behind it, and they couldn't do anything. I can't remember.
No, that was Fury with the Kali.
Oh, the Carl.
Even worse.
Same thing though, in principle. Shield man and sniper person behind, and
Well, they're not going for Rafters, so we don't have to worry about that.
oh, I was
mate.
right though.
Well done. Pat yourself in the back, mate.
Nice. I was about to replace myself with Rob before, so I can keep my job. I like this though, still a decent amount of time. It's one thing that Outlast have probably struggled with in the opening 2 rounds of this half, just time management. You've got to give yourself time. If plan A doesn't work out, you've still got 30, 40 seconds left. You can maybe execute a plan B. Now, Jay Kenner did have the Zoto canister already prepped in hand as he throws that over onto the wall, defending this nicely. He's 1-8, but the kills don't matter if he can continue to delay this con wall from being opened up. Come on, Jakey. Throw the canister. Wait. And throw. Good job.
I mean, stalling it
Oh.
out. It's going to be another.
Oh, what? Jay Kenner dies.
I mean, he did his job.
But he got rid of the Montang, and yeah, that has definitely been job done. Although with no more Zoto canisters, this will get opened up. 30 seconds remaining on the best defensive side of Clubhouse in this region. Headshots, nice from Relays. Gone a little bit quiet in the last couple of rounds. Ned's low on health. He can't make a swift entry. ACOG playing off the smoke in the Glaz combo. Outside CC window. Hunter strong though. Dealt with Ned. He got a second one as well on the Maestro. Now into a 2 versus 2. Diffuser, currently not equipped, now picked up. ACOG making his way into Cash, deals with Chef Jeff behind the keeper barrier, and Hunter goes down below. Does have an impact. Can he find a way to deny the plant? He cannot. He will die. Outlast win. Cash and CCTV as an attacking team. A rare feat to do in this region, and they go to 5 rounds.
Yeah, man, 1 in 5 chance. And they've been able to pluck it. Very close in the end. Almost an opportunity there for the impact to Nile from below, but just not placed in the correct position. And so Outlast now again with the lead. 5-4 scoreline.
Did anyone guess, or it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Massive nitro there, though. I don't know how he's been able to pull that one off. It's just landed behind Veto.
That is incredibly toxic from AFX gang. Jake putting on a clinic, but it's not the good kind.
That's rough.
Oh, percentages are going out.
83%, 70.
Nah, way off. Wait, are
can't
they
believe
saying
you were the
attack or defense? Attack.
I can't believe you were the closest.
Wow, no one's gone low.
Well, no one got it right either, so my $1 million is safe. Thankfully.
If only you had $1 million, then you could look after it. Oh, someone said 21.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
1 off.
Yeah, 1 off. Well done everyone for participating. There are no participation medals.
Oh, they said 22.
Someone said 22, but it's all right.
I already said it.
Yeah, you already said it.
I already said it.
You already said it.
Closing chat. That's true.
No, naughty.
5 seconds left before insertion.
So, 10th round.
Attackers must locate
Do we
and defuse the bomb.
have any more guess the site percentages that you want to play?
No, not risking that again. How do you even transfer $1 million? I don't even know how you do that.
I'll let you know one day. So, can Outlast get themselves to match and series point with a round win here in the 10th? It's going to be a difficult one down into the basement. They bring the Ram. They got the Blitz as well. I like this lineup. Certainly a little bit of a change up from what we saw of them last time out on this particular site, guys. Last time was the Habana, the Grim, the IQ, the Bark, very kind of like standardized, boring old lineup. They also lost one early in this similar position. It was indeed Yentai, so he knows that the defense wants to be aggressive. They might swing Dirt. They might swing this main window. There is actually a large audience surrounding Dirt right now, and it's Ned who gets an opening kill onto Chef Jeff, and it's going to be a rush through Dirt. The Blitz will make its way in. Scar's very low on health. Then, speaking of him, though, he does get a kill onto Relays. That's quite big. Is the flash successful? Can't pull the pistol out. There's a player in towards Blue. Nicely done from Lunchbox. Holds his nerve. But now it's a triple stack in Dirt as they push out one by one. They will fall. In fact, a team kill from Yentai not helping the cause for Outlast, and what ends up being somewhat a wasted round. Kit acquired from Yentai and a good repeat from Jay Kenner. Indeed, now putting on a clinic, and that is a 5-5 scoreline. But now we go back up above.
Yeah, I think that round to me just screams of an attacking lineup that just cannot be bothered going for another default push. So they're just like, screw it, let's stack dirt, see what happens. Didn't work out. We've seen so many team kills tonight.
Do you reckon they I mean, I feel like that was always the plan. But as soon as they got that kill into Chef Jeff, they're like, oh, we're just going to go.
Yeah. I think that was the trigger point in that particular round where they're just like, yeah, okay, let's stack it.
I wonder if Scars doesn't get that kill onto Ned. Is there a world you still even win that? It's a problem with, like, I mean, do you really need to send all 5 players through dirt, though? Like, I can understand 2 or 3, and then you have, like, another 2 pushing, like, blue. Like, why not just go? We've seen that from, like, legitimate teams when they go for that dirt side, blue side push, and the blitz can play either side. I've seen a blitz go in towards blue, swing around, start flashing people, then people start pushing out of dirt. Like, it's really bizarre to me that they just overplay the dirt position.
Yeah, I think typically in this kind of era of Siege, if you're stacking a position, it has to be a 4-1 split. You always have to have that wild card pressure somewhere else.
So, we're all tied up. Break point. Will it be match point or will it be series point? Jay Kenner towards Rafters. For what it's worth as well, that opening kill from Ned in the last round, which obviously was not a conversion, was the first one that they've had in a while for Outlast. 14-7 for Ned. Playing incredibly well here on Club. It's the battle of the 3s though right now. Yentai, Chef Jeff, and Jay Kenner all on 3 kills.
3, it's the magic number.
And it's 3 of them.
Cool.
The power of 3s.
Will we get 3 maps though?
Well, I mean, I think we're probably likely. This is going to be very difficult now for Outlast. And might be able to send it to OT though. If they are, statistically, it should be this site where they get their 6th round. We'll see if that is where they can do it. One more Rotaro from the Flores of Relays. Oh, that's a freebie onto Yentai, caught in the balcony. He was reloading. Jay Kenner will get the opening kill, but he got immediately traded by Ned, who now breaches 15 kills. Nicely done over on the Kennel's Repel. So another 4 versus 4. Con single wall opened up. But you've still got a lot of work to do in towards the site. You haven't even done with the mirror window just yet. Scars playing in towards bathroom. Chef Jeff in logistics. Where's this hit going to come from for Outlast? You've still got Lunchbox top red.
We saw Ned last time around stacked outside this Kennel's position, and then he just solo entered and lost his life last time around.
Oh, the timing, bro! He's literally, like, would have got that kill. Ned just un-ADS's. The impromptu timing.
I just don't think this solo push from Ned would work.
Oh, never mind. Oh my goodness, it's all happening here on Club. If that was a misdrone, he would have died absolutely. Well, that is a super wide swing from Hunter. Man has gone halfway to Mars.
And now he's trapped. He can't cross back.
Yeah, Relay's in a good position. Still 40 seconds, so you can certainly play this up.
Oh,
Flash doesn't go through the window. He knows there's still one top red. AGOG in a good position. F not mine. They're pushed out. Lunchbox is just better. But a good shot through the barricade. Relays, they've lost Bailey. Now down to a 2 versus 3 with Box on the floor. Over towards CCTV. They can push together. Going for the revive. That'll be a double kill. Relays gets them both.
They don't have diffuser and they can't get to it.
14 seconds, gonna have to get the kills, gonna have to just start rushing this player inside of Jim. Scars, he doesn't really have to move. Shotgun in hand now for Chef Jeff. 4 seconds left, you gotta find the double kill. One inside of Gold, the other inside of Jim. And I don't think we're gonna be seeing Scars move whatsoever, only to get that kill. Antic go to map point.
Get a bit hyped there, Jakey.
That was a good round.
It was pretty crazy. We saw that big duel over towards Kennels with Ned, who eventually fell to the F not mine.
Get us to border.
Could have used one of those Flores drones on the Logi wall. It really would have helped in the late round.
I've just done the most. I've literally flipped this masking tape. It's rolled. I swear to God, it's rolled. Look, it's over here. Look.
I don't care.
Okay.
So that swing from Relays, cheeky 2K.
I'm never going to be able to do that again. I've just peeked.
Yeah, you peaked at the SI Grand Final, mate. Yeah, we couldn't see those two players inside of Con actually make their way over towards Logi for the kit, and so we had to see the filter through to Bedroom, and the defense was able to hold firm and not throw away their lives. Antic rewarded, as you so eloquently put it, match point for them. 6-5 scoreline, but they do go back to the danger site for them, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I still think, like, sometimes you don't want to look too much into the numbers. I love numbers too, guys. They're great. But historically, this site should be more forgiving for the attacking team. Historically. Right now, though, and in terms of recency, no, absolutely not. And in this region in particular, sure. Antic in a good position to close out, but we shall see. Yokai brought, it's the Echo in play from Hunter, who has performed certainly a lot better than he did on Lair. Can Outlast find a way to send this to overtime? Do we know who's double defense? Have we figured that one out? Not too sure.
Presumably Antic.
Might not matter though. Honestly, with the way that this game has somewhat played out, I mean, defense has certainly been the side you want to be on. So Montaigne in play. Controlled by Bailey. So this Yokai drone makes its way through Lounge, gets, well, a bit of information on the fact that there's no one there. Now, I think the Montaigne, the goal is to just somewhat keep the Legion here honest. I doubt they're going to try and push this Montaigne up rafters.
Well, they have got the Grim, so I think they might. I don't know what other dislodging.
There's also a Yokai drone that has been spotted.
Oh, look at the triples. Yeah, that triple stack's not going to be fun.
That's pretty decent, though, at least. But there is an emphasis. All right. Kwanheim's launch it, utilized. Red ping information. And just walks right at the Legion. Should be a dead Legion. Indeed. Oh! But also a dead Bailey. 1-for-1 trade, but you do get Rafters control. Do we call that a draw, or is that...
Yeah, it's not the worst trade. That you need the Monty for the Rafters take. You don't necessarily need it for the plant, so... Would have been useful to have him, but it's not a must-have. 2 nitrous cells available for Antic. Always a very strong piece of utility on a site like this. Under a minute remaining. Timing here.
Bra from Scars. Don't know what that is in relation to.
JKen is looking for Nitro here. Really depends if Relays holds the line, though. He's watching for bot main at the moment still, I think.
Well, the onus is definitely on Outlast to try and finish this round off. They can't just keep sitting around and waiting for Antic to do something. If they go for a default plant, certainly though, you've got double nitrous opportunities, Chef Jeff in cash, and then Jake Kenner from down below. So ACOG needs to be cooking up really nicely here. Is anyone watching? Oh, the ACOG blocks the site, and Jake Kenner gets the free kill onto Relays. The nitrous off from below. It doesn't even matter because all the shots land from Antic, and we will be heading to border. This is over on Clubhouse. Good half, says Scars. And this quarterfinal will require all 3 maps. The firing squad at top red is awaiting for your positioning, Ned. He will hold for the KD, though, the stat pad. And for Antic, the map win.
Yeah, solid work from Antic there on the second map. Just a little bit cleaner across the board on Club, and it's a map that will reward that cleanliness. Border awaits, and that intensity is going to pick up again.
Well, a very fascinating game of Clubhouse. It started off with Rob J. Monday on the cast, and now he's back on the couch.
Thank you very much for firstly having me on the cast. How lucky am I to be with the great Jake, Xenox, and Diddy. But of course, for a great game from Antic. A little worried for the first half. I thought their attacks just weren't as pointed as I had hoped. But a 4-2 half was enough. That's just the way the cookie crumbles on Clubhouse, Vinny. If you have a solid defense, 2 rounds is enough.
Yeah, I think you made a good point while you were casting, actually. You said this is their map pick, and their mini-gaming and their attack sort of direction didn't seem to be up to scratch. And I thought, for sure, once you'd made that point, that might have been the downfall of them. But as you said, their defenses were strong. Outlast looked Yeah, just not quite sharp enough on those attacks, not in terms of mechanics, but just in the way that they were playing out the rounds and adapting. Even that last round there in particular with the Monty going up Garage Rafter.
Yeah.
Able to get the pick, but then never really able to convert. And I think we saw somebody jump out con window and get a double kill. So, yeah, like, it's Clubhouse. It's been sort of the story of this stage. Teams are struggling with their attacks.
Yep.
And yeah, I think something definitely needs to change in this region. It's sort of soonish.
Yeah, and I think it comes with just more structure in general. I feel as though a couple of leaders like this for me, right? We're at the minute 50 mark. I get that you probably thought you caught a player or two off and maybe they're roam heavy, but putting all 4 players at dirt is just so risky. It's one funnel. All it takes is for one player to slow down and things just start to steamroll a little bit. Look, granted, you've got to give respect to Antic there. They were pushed to the limit in that first half and slowly at the start of the second half, but boy, did they look good once they really got going. And I think that, for me, as long as you on your map pick can play your defense side with a lot of structure, it just gives you hope that at the very least things are okay on that side. I definitely need to see a little bit more from the attacks on really any team. I think there's only 2 teams at the moment that I feel confident with, and Chiefs I'm kind of just putting in there just because they're performing well in the best of ones. We'll have to wait and see how they do in best of 3s, but for me, we're 1-1. And no matter how you get there, it's done. I genuinely thought after that first half that we would have seen a little bit more, just a little bit more from Outlast on an attacking Clubhouse. It's a map that's played through and through in every single region around the world. It's not like this is not an unknown map. This has been probably the default, this in Oregon were the default maps for 7 years.
100%, especially in our region. Like, Clubhouse was played basically every play day when we were back in the BO2 days.
Oh!
Even that far back. Yeah,
oh my
Border and Club
God.
were 2 big ones. Oregon obviously was one of those big ones as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's we're way too deep into the game cycle, into the development of the region for us to be struggling with certain mini-game parts, especially on a map like Clubhouse.
Yeah, the mini-game seems to be probably the clearest defining factor on a map like Clubhouse. And even when you look to something as simple as like a Labs, for example, you're seeing something similar. Now we move to Border, Vinny, where things can be... I personally think it's a little freer on Border. You're allowed a little bit more... just freedom in general on your attack. There's a lot of different ways you can approach most of the sites. Who are you swinging towards?
This one's tough. We didn't get to see in the Veto the starting side, so I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But in saying that, it's going to be one of those maps. We've said it throughout the stage when Border is being played. On defense, you need to be aggressive. You need to be contesting entries. And we've seen, I think both teams played this map, but one that springs to mind is definitely the Antic match that they played.
Yep.
They have the ability to be aggressive and contest those entries, and it's really strong. And that's the key to the map. So if Outlast can contest those entries or contest those spawn peaks and stuff like that early on and able to get those opening picks, because we saw Jay Kenner in that map. I mean, he ended up going 3-9, but I think at one stage he was 1-8.
Yep.
He was the opening death in 3 of those rounds, as you can see there, and they were quite early. So he's going to be one of those players that need to kind of bring it back, and if he does, I think Antic are a good shot.
And I'm not going to say it's a target, the Vigil is a complete target ban, but it is Jay Kenner's most picked operator, so there is something to that. So have a quick look at Jay Kenner's lineup here. I think we're seeing him default a little bit more safe at the moment. I think that he's still allowed like the Mozzie license, the Solus license, all of those kind of things, but it feels as though it's a little bit more of a team game than what it was at the start of the stage. And maybe that could be a testament to the success that we've seen from Antic. But look, it is 1-1 in the series so far. We're going to head to Border after this to decide who'll take on Chiefs in the upper bracket.
So the first of two quarterfinals today in the Oceania League goes the distance. The third map required between Outlast and Antic. As always, very entertaining chats when Antic are involved inside of the server. They did a decent job of closing out on Clubhouse, and we head to Border for what will be the last map between these two teams, respectively. Outlast, maybe this is a little bit like the regular stage, guys. Started hot and then fading out. Is that going to be the case?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as we jump into this particular map. We do see one shield banned out. We have seen the duo ban earlier tonight, but won't persist here into Border. The blitz can be rather impactful here on this map, and so very much stay aware of that. Ying is a pretty standard ban here. Azami does limit the defense a touch. Border typically has few safe places to play and to lock down as power positions, and by taking the Azami off the board, they have nullified a couple of those. So to the castle, again, just cutting down on some of those lines of sight, also means that we won't see that like break room extension that we sometimes see played out by the defense for top floor, for instance. And Relay is maybe a little bit disappointed that he won't be able to play that particular operator in the second half. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we've seen a very diverse map pool in this series. Right? We start off with Lair, one of the biggest in the pool. Team's still testing it out. We then go to Clubhouse, the oldest standing and one that's very standardized. And now we go to Border, which again is an older map, but the dynamic changes once more, where it's very small, compact. There's gonna be a lot of fast trades, a lot of gunplay, etc. So both teams have, really had to flex their muscles throughout this series.
They certainly have. Who wins it from here, guys? A complete blank canvas on Border. You haven't seen anything. You've only seen the first two maps. Who have you got? Outlast or Antic closing it out?
Ooh. That's a really tough question, because I think it is going to come down to hard-hitting gunplay. And we've seen that for players from both sides. I think overall Outlast have probably, for my liking, looked a little bit more consistent, especially defensively. But as Vinny sort of said at the pre-match desk, it's a series that's going to be won on the attack. So Outlast need to have those key players firing up in the first half, but I think they can certainly get a result across the line, especially again if relays can really come alive and ACOG can play that second line.
I'm going to go Outlast. I'm going to back in the big three for me, which is ACOG, Ned, and Relays. Ned was fantastic on Clubhouse. I think ACOG and Relays should thrive on a map like Border. But on the flip side, to be my own devil's advocate, if Antic can find a way you know, to really get Jake Henner involved. He's been quite lackluster, unfortunately, in this series. Lunchbox has been doing well. Scars should thrive on a map like this as well. There's certainly caveats and answers for Antic to be able to win it from here. They begin defenses. Outlast will make an entry in towards server. Now they've got the Amaru here, can grappling hook up through hatches. I wonder if that will be the game plan. Judging by this overhead, it looks like that will be said game plan.
He's already going for the plant.
Oh, yeah, he's already straight in. Bailey's going to stick this plant down. No one will respond until just then. The Nitrous off from Chef Jeff eventually comes through. Looking to find at least one back. Yenta is successful. The Amaru very successful, making their way in towards Armory, but good down. He's on the floor. That's a good angle. Jay Kenner and Hunter combining. And so far, this thrifty attack from Outlast is being, well, dealt with. Ned was able to get a kill onto Lunchbox. But now in a position where it's a 2v3 and you've got a lot of work to do.
I mean, they're stranded outside.
They've got no map control and Diffuser's in a bad spot.
Yeah. I don't know if they went for that hit maybe a little bit earlier than they anticipated, or was it the plan? A couple players outside not having much impact, and that Diffuser now pinged by the defense. So we see rotation for Vert from Ned. Trying to find a pick from below. Main is being held. Opportunity goes astray though for the defense. Relays still outside fence.
Oh, don't do that.
Over peak.
Don't do that. Oh my god. Oh, Relay's so good with it. When I say don't do that, I'm referencing the fact that you don't need to do that. They just peak for the sake of it, guys, and that's going to be their downfall here. I mean, this is a cutthroat quarterfinal. You lose this map, and you cannot go to the major. Jay Kenner locked in. Sternly, just blinked, only just then for the first time. Shots do land. Ned on 2 HP. Jay Kenner probably wondering, how have I not killed him? Well, he will kill him. Shoots out the kneecap. 30 seconds left, and I think he's in a good position to get this kill onto Relays. There's our Jakey boy. He wakes up for Antic. A sip of the water. And he was locked in after his teammates did everything they could to throw that round.
Yeah, it was a scrappy round from both teams. I think the initial idea there of the sandwich plant combined with the Amaru rappel in from below was actually pretty sound, but the rest of the attack around it was far from convincing. Saw a really good plant denial initially from Antic, and that was what stranded that Diffuser. And then those players outside are unable to really get back into the round. Ned transitioned for a bit of vert. Really just posted up, and with that DMR was able to get some great work done. And then Jay Kenner with the follow-up. Really smart plant denial.
Harry, what's the rule of Jekeno?
What'd you say, sorry?
Do not.
I don't know what he said. Was able to find the knee, land
Apparently
the shot.
there's a rule for Jay Kenner or something. Maybe it's like don't hype him up. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, he's on 3 kills, so
I think he's just matched his total from the last game. That's said in jest, but also it's not far from being statistically accurate. Let me go and have a quick look, because he had 4.
So in some respects, you're not far off.
Yeah, I'm not far off for Jay Kenner. Looking at actually the overview for the entire series, 10-18 from Jay Kenner coming into this game, but a great way to start it. He's been the outlier for his team, right? Like, no one else is really performing sort of below par for Antic. Jay Kenner, unfortunately, having a rough one, but great way to start. And I kind of did say it as well coming into that round. Like, you got Jay Kenner plays a map like Border well. When he's on Song, he can certainly play Border.
This is a swift entry from Relays already inside of Customs. Default camera is up at lobby though.
Being watched.
Bailey can hack it.
Yeah, Bailey hacks this camera, and then that can certainly allow the further push through.
Yeah, they got it. So this is a blind spot for the defense now.
Can now start to move, but Jay Kenner, there you go. 4 kills of all the club, now 4 kills inside 2 rounds on Border. And it's a bit of a warning sign. The alarm bells will be going off if I'm Outlast thinking if Jay Kenner is starting to activate, and he's been quiet this series. That's been a big piece as to why Outlast have been competitive. Oh, this is concerning, absolutely.
Relays has been able to advance forward inside of Workshop, but doesn't really have an opportunity for a kill here, unless he catches that Warden off guard, but Chef able to consolidate.
Yeah, but Chef knows he got trained there right at the end anyway. More pressure But these drones won't do too much to worry Chef Jeff. Does Outlast have the pieces to hit site? That's going to be the question. It feels like they're so reliant on being able to maybe find an Antic defender off position, out of position. Diffuser out of position. They double clear 90. Good trigger discipline. But Relay's anticipating he's not going to get much more and just kills Lunchbox anyway and gets a second. Lovely play in towards Fountain. Unlocking the round now for Outlast. Hunter, with a good response, and he's able to clear out from top east. Stairs and Scars over towards 90 as well. Retaking good map control here, Antic.
50 seconds.
Running around, though. That's not where you want to be running around at that point. It's still just so dirty up above. Relay's getting another one in this round, leaving poor old Chef Jeff by himself in sight. 1v3. Oh, what can you cook? Well, nothing there on that shot. Missing
Nitro.
entirely, and now they know exactly where he is inside a bathroom. Nitrocell rips it. Oh, and he got him off, but he was surrounded anyway.
I don't think he anticipated that to have such an effect.
I don't think he was going to win that round anyway.
No.
Good round win for Outlast, and to their credit, I thought they played that incredibly well. They understood that they needed to clear up above, did so as a team. I loved the fact they were moving in numbers. Almost like a wave up above, and yeah, that is just timing, unfortunately, for Lunchbox. And I think in that instance, maybe Jay Kenner could have done a little bit better in that battle, knowing full well that his teammate just died to that position in Fountain, but maybe wasn't expecting the swing. But credit to Outlast as they even things up 1-1.
Yeah, it was just really good posturing there from the front line of the attack. Remained pretty unpredictable. The implementation of the clutch drones from Brava as well left quite a few blind spots around the map. And we saw Chef, the anchor on side, initially pressured, and I thought Outlast were trying to maybe pivot to a little bit more of a direct push, but ultimately sent that front line up above to take fights. And yeah, Relay's doing a phenomenal job. Already up to 6 kills here in the first 2 rounds. And on a map where attacking rounds can really, pardon me, where defensive rounds can really come at a premium, Antic have to try and shut him down. I'm having a look now. 31 rounds played him at Order and OCE, and it's only had a defensive win rate of 32%. So Antic need to be really careful here that they don't lose too much momentum here in the first half. Yeah, it goes both ways. If their attack is strong, they can make up for that shortfall, but they've got to do a really good job at trying to contain some of these danger players.
Jeez, that was so aggressive from Scars. And Yantai not happy with the over-aggression. That was actually almost disrespectful to play detention like that while it's getting opened up just to deny the drone and then run away, but does not get away. And in the end, that's just wasting your life on defense. Where, as you kind of already pointed out, where it's already going to be so difficult to defend.
So 5 versus 4. Sometimes here on Border, we'll see that snowball effect where an early pick can compound really quickly into a round win, but this time there'll be a stall in the action just because of how isolated that fight over towards the tension was. Ned now in an engagement himself.
Oh, Chef Jeff will be kicking himself had he just been holding that angle for a little bit longer, probably finds the head. Instead, gets nothing. Hunter on the Oryx, getting pushed around. He takes a beating. He's forced to drop.
Where are these Valkyrie cameras? I don't know how much value they'll be offering. There is IQ on the board as well to counter them. Oh, one inside a CC. They can't reposition though for a Nitro. I don't have one outside of Chef, who's too far away over towards Armory.
It's another Valcam as well in Vent as well. Chef Jeff probably at this point feeling like he needs to make a move. He does get droned out, still waiting for that repel. Yeah, this is all one-way traffic, although Chef Jeff in his very difficult position was able to at least get one, should get traded, does in a timely manner from Relays, and that leaves Hunter by himself as the Oryx down below inside a workshop, 10 HP. Smoke will dissipate. And Outlast can
Attackers have recovered the bomb diffuser.
well, renegotiate their position here a little bit, but Hunter knows there's one up above. Does hear him running around, 30 seconds. By no means is this round over. One has to plant, one up above. Droned out though, and that's going to make it even more difficult for Hunter. He's got no idea where they're coming from. Oh, there was an opportunity. You get that kill, you don't plant, maybe you win it, but Relay's always had the angle from up above, and that is a second round found for Outlast.
Yeah, it's just the nature of that attack compounding. We see the over-aggression detention, and then Outlast have a significant advantage that they can play into full belt of util for top floor as well. And that was able to put a lot of pressure on Chef, limited his rotation to help support others. And then we saw, the rest of the defense kind of capitulating there a little bit. So solid work from Outlast, first rotation, positive for them. It's just about keeping up this momentum now. As I mentioned before, defensive rounds really can come at a premium at times. Especially when you factor in the likes of the Monty being taken out, which probably actually bolstered that attacking win rate for the league pretty significantly. So it's actually probably even more skewed towards being a little bit strange in this matchup. But
It's been a strange game. 9-1 for Relays. He is just lighting the server on fire, but no kills from ACOG or Bailey. I mean, maybe that's just a symptom of the fact that Relays is just running around and killing everyone, so it's kind of hard to get kills, but you know, if they've seen you, you've seen them. 0-3 for ACOG, 0-2 for Bailey. They haven't really got going yet. Yentai, the one that's actually standing up so far through the opening 3 rounds that have played out. He's got 3 kills. He was the one that was statistically struggling the most for Outlast throughout the series. 12-19. Bailey 13-21, but Relays is now plus 17 on KD, plus 1 on entry. Same as Ned in terms of the entry stat. But yeah, Relays has been the absolute MVP of this series. In fact, I'd go as far to say, win or lose from here, Relays is just straight up the MVP, whether they lose or win. No one on Antic is actually going positive in terms of KD. And Relays is plus 17. And it's not like these are just scrubby end-of-round kills either. He's getting impactful kills, getting entry kills. Well, we get a response, though, from Antic. This entire series, 7-5, 7-5 on the first 2 maps, has been so back and forth between these 2 teams. There's really not a lot separating them. That's ahead. Oh, hello. Yentai, open your eyes, mate. Have a little
still
look.
There.
He's still there. You can still see him.
Is that client-side debris, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't think so, though.
Can't be.
Awkward. I mean, neither players saw each other, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Straight stalemate.
Yeah.
Again, that could be something on the opposite side. I don't think it was, though. Either way, this is a real standoff at the moment.
It's the slowest round we've had so far. Every opening kill in the first 3 rounds was above 2 minutes.
Yeah, in the first minute.
Ned from below on the Deimos with the
JKenna is doing a
JKenna is hiding once again under the desk.
We've seen it before, and I don't think it's been successful once, has it?
No, it has. There was one time in server. Oh, yeah, no, there's been a couple of times.
Well, he got 1 kill and then immediately traded.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually at most what probably JKenna does end up getting is like 1 and then that's it. 1 and done. Relays opening kill onto Lunchbox. He goes double digits already.
Oh, no.
JKenna, the slithering snake from out of the dark. No way! Oh, he'll never want to watch that again. JKenna, that's going on a highlight reel and you're the highlight.
Oh. I feel like we cursed it. It was even worse than I thought it was going to be.
That's going to get slowed down, replayed over and over again. Triple kill. Relays now up to 12-1. JKenna says the hit got rejected. I think shots 1 to 3 missed. 4 to 5 maybe lag. 6 to 7 clearly you were already dead.
I don't know if he's memeing. Maybe it was a hit rejection. I don't think it was, though. We'll watch it back a million times.
They had the tickets to Whiff City.
So, we'll see. I mean, he was lucky enough to survive this. I don't know what this was.
Oh, you know. What do you want to...
No.
What? Oh, he just got a slow blink. He just a slow... Oh, oh no, Jakey. And he was playing so well, of course, to start here on border. We highlighted him as a threat, and unfortunately, it doesn't work. And you kind of brought up that fact as well. How often does this hiding strat work for Jake Kenner, and it's like, it's really 50-50
Well,
at best.
it's 0 from 2 on border. We've seen it before on this map, and it didn't work off that last time out on Office from memory.
He started 4-0, he's now 4-3, and it's 3-1 to Outlast. Doing well, but of course attack, right? You kind of brought up the statistics. That's also weird. Now, I'm going to be very curious, because I'll tell you what, I'd be done.
Is he
if
chalked?
that was me, I'm done. I'm tilted in chat, comes out.
Yeah, there's a dot in the chat.
There's a dot in the
I'm tilted.
I'm tilted. What can Jake Kenner do after that? It's all about the mental reset. The pros at the highest level
You can't shut down.
will not shut down. They will double down. They will feel like, okay, well, next time I kill him. Everything was perfect. The build-up was great. I should have got the kill.
The reality is, I don't think that moment really lost them.
No, absolutely not.
They got smashed that round.
It's more of a personal thing.
Oh, he's back!
Jake Kenner,
What?
there you go. There's the double
What
down.
was that?
Jake Kenner gets rid of relays, the top player inside of the server. That's what Jakey is made of. Nice shot comes out. TY, says Jake. It's all happening on board.
Just don't give him the SMG. Just give him the DMR. He's been popping off on the
Just
turret.
don't hide behind the desk, mate. Just take them front on, and that's what can happen. Well, the blitz in play for Bailey. They might want to just send it even off of the death.
Here we
Smoke
go.
to go out. Is this going to be the go button? Bailey makes his way in. Will he get denied? So far, no. Scars gets up close.
Nitro
now
Chef.
the plant going down. It will be denied. Nicely done. The Glads can't do much to stop it. No kills for ACOG. Yantai goes down to Hunter. Ned does get the trade. 2 versus 4 with a low HP Scars. Ned again. Headshot. Surely not cooking something special here. Coming down east stairs very slowly. Jake Kenner on the move. ACOG still outside. No kills yet from him. He was so good on Clubhouse. Courtesy, though, of the fact there's still 2 minutes to go. They don't have to rush this. Claymore goes down from Ned, but he should be prepared for the fact that there is one over towards waiting.
Minute 40 then on the clock. Can they clutch up this round? An ambitious push. Still double nitro on the board for the defense, but this attack now so close range, they cannot rely on that utility, and Ned continues to probe, looking dangerous, but doesn't have a read in towards bathroom. Elects to go prone. The Glaz is still outside.
There's still 2 nitrocells as well for Antic, by the way. Kenner and Lunchbox. They're both top floor. Scar's very low inside a bathroom. Body shot will well and surely put him to bed.
Oh.
Ned just continuing to swing around, hoping maybe an overpeak will come through. 60 seconds. Oh, there's the push. There's the timing. Oh, he does get the kill. There's one player. Oh, he gets the kill onto Lunchbox. It's a quad from Ned. Down there, no, where Jake Kenner is as well. Can Jake win the round? He's got to. Down to 1v1 against ACOG. Nitrocell, he thought about it. He will throw it. He gets off it. He shot it. ACOG has shot it out. 40 seconds. Huge round. Pivotal. Jake Kenner. From West City in the last round to maybe Clutch King in the 5th round. Opens up some sight lines, and ACOG knows running out of time and he can't stick to plan. He's going to have to go for the kill. Oh, he spotted him. The visual of the yellow. 20 seconds left, maybe sensing there's enough gap to get the plant down inside of bathroom. No smoke, can't aid him. No nitrocell for Jake Kenner. 10 seconds left, running in the corridor. You're going to have to push him. ACOG's going to have to run at Jake Kenner here. Jake Kenner holds tucked in close. Oh, there he is, locked in. Another sip of water. And last round is all but forgotten as Jake Kenner clutches.
Oh, Jakey. And that,
for everyone in chat that gave him shit, now you sing his praises. He's won the round single-handedly for Antic.
and that's twice now. And he had this massive opening kill as well. What was that? I actually still don't understand how he's hit this.
That hit rejection.
Yeah, wow, what a round. I mean, it was absolutely chaotic. Diffuser on the ground. Shout out to Ned. I mean, what a phenomenal effort from him. 4 kills in the round. Played this cross and breaking it up phenomenally well. Jakana left, 1v2. The Nitro got denied. So ACOG did a great job to shoot this. I mean, that's a microsecond away from confirming the round right there.
I thought he had him here, actually, because he
spotted him. Yeah, spotted the backpack.
Yeah.
But
oh, look at Chef Jeff. Look at what it means to Antic. I tell you what, they were somewhat on the ropes there, because that could have been a 4-1 lead to Outlast. That would have been somewhat job done for the half. And what's crazy, utterly mind-boggling, Bailey and ACOG still get to get a kill. 0-5, 0-3.
oh, yeah.
Guys, this is a quarterfinal, 3rd map. to see if you can go on to the semi-final and take on Chiefs tomorrow. You've got to pick it up. It can't be all down to relays and Ned. They can't do everything.
How crazy is that ACOG?
Oh, the run out. Jake Kenner just does not want to stop.
How crazy is ACOG though, right? He's been the top performing player for Outlast, and now in the final map with your spot to the major on the line, or potential road to the major on the line, no kills and loses that clutch. He'll be so disappointed with that last round.
Relay shot down again for the second round in a row. He's going to be first dead inside of the server, and they need him, guys. They need him inside of the map. The fact is, that's now going to be the 5th and 6th round of this half in which Relays hasn't been involved because he's been spawn peaked. He was 12-1, instrumental to Outlast leading. But for 2 rounds now, he has not been involved because Antic have shut him down as early as he possibly can.
Well, it definitely feels like the intensity inside of the server has been turned up to 11. And Jake Kenner in another fight already, this time over towards security. Lack of pinch pressure, the attack seemingly not overly eager to contest this at the moment, as the cross as well from Armory with Chef. Looking to hold down the line, gets caught.
Jake Kenner couldn't make it back. Entire still very low on HP. Needs to be careful outside of the exterior at the moment. Head just going to make his way in towards security. He's a buzz and 3 canisters left in the Quan Hive launcher. Bailey open up that hatch. The bailiff, sorry, 8-3. Bailey 0-3. ACOG finally on the board. Can that get him going? He was so good on Clubhouse. So very good. Under a minute left. Final round of the half. Third and final map of this quarterfinal. Lose this map, and you are out of the running to go to the major. Oh, shot from ACOG. I tell you what, he could be back. Lunchbox sat down, 1 and 6 for Box. Chef Jeff still the Nitro. Same with Hunter, 2 remaining.
There's a pre-rip Nitro opportunity as well here for Default. That could be round defining, but Chef Jeff able to step up to the mark in an attempt to hold this top floor position.
Bailey, gonna have to make a move. You're gonna have to probably get a kill. Nitrocell thrown up and over, but no one's there. Ineffective. Still one more, but Chef Jeff lost his life. Bailey's on the board as well. So Bailey and ACOG both get going here in this 6th round. What a shot, Bailey! What an entry kill! Scars invents by himself. No. Can he get this kill? No! Hasn't quite been able to piece it together. The pistol's good, but it's not enough, and Yentire will close the round. So what a half.
It really is Whip City.
What a quarterfinal.
I feel like some of these clips are seeing more bullets missed than land, but that's just the nature of the pressure inside of the server at the moment. As I mentioned, it really has turned up to another level. And I thought that pre-rip Nitro from Hunter was the default plan. I'm also meant the default push up above on that entry point up here on the top floor to hold the objective, but we saw Chef kind of hold down the line, and then that meant that the attack went for the rotation down below. Scars was maybe in a position there with some trigger discipline to pull off something special, but got caught there in vents. 4-2 half though, and so that follows the trajectory that we kind of expected looking at the numbers for OCE. It's very much followed the trend line. Antic now need to back it up themselves.
Absolutely, they do. Can't lie, it's very difficult to split these 2 teams right now. It's been a great matchup. I think win or lose here from Outlast. Very curious to see what this roster can do in 2025. Get more reps under the belt. Get more games, scrims, officials. Who knows what the ceiling could be.
5 seconds left.
For Antic, it's feeling like just kind of holding on right now to just get the job done in this quarterfinal. Came in as favorites, but no longer. And it really does feel like a neutral 50-50 from here on out. Outlast onto the defense, but we know Border can certainly lend itself to favoring the attack. Especially as we saw in that opening half. Anti into break on the Vigil. How aggressive is Outlast going to be on the defense? We saw Jake Kenner basically had license to do whatever he wanted. In some cases it worked, in other cases not so much.
Yeah, mirror window there inside of office already broken. I'm presuming that's off the back of a shock drone from Jake Kennerin, so that weakens the office hold a little bit. Over towards break, still being locked down by Yentai on the Vigil. Although his position not really under threat at the moment. More so a focus at claiming top east control, I believe, at the moment. And Chef has also been sent below for the lurk. They're posturing for an office hit here, and I think that's probably the right play off the back of the mirror being disrupted. But ACOG, said mirror, rotating over towards Archive, is able to find the opening pick.
Well, ACOG rising to the occasion, and he finds a second. Good shot from Lunchbox onto Relays, playing behind the open mirror window, and Relays has now gone 0-3 after starting 12-1. Just having a poor little patch.
A bomb has been located.
Jake Box and Scars. As the remaining 3 now for Antic, with 4 to defeat in front of them. And not a lot of time either. Are they on the verge of giving up a 5-2 lead here on border? It may then also force a tactical timeout to rediscuss how they want to navigate their way forward in the second half. Scars trying to make his way in through break. No. Yes. Yellow ping. They know there's one in security, and Yentai very low. Have they got impinged here? Oh, what a shot! The Boss G, and Box will fall. Sure, it allows entry for Scars, but again, they're still down a player overall. Jay Kenner getting aggressive through officers, despite the fact he knows there's one playing behind that wall. Scars does get the trade, but as has been the case over the last minute, always just down a player. It's a 2 versus 1. Scars, slow and sure of himself through 90. Waiting for someone to peek. ACOG must not. He's half health. He couldn't survive the body shots. Force Scars to clear you. Force him into sight.
You can't flash clear the Warden, so he ramps up the difficulty level here for Scars. ACOG and Ned, though, not in the best tradable positions, although Scars now rotating for a position that should be traded.
10 seconds.
It won't be initially.
ACOG may not know that Scars hasn't actually got the kit, so he wanders off into Fountain. A sigh of relief. ACOG clutches up the round. After a slow start from his perspective, he's obviously got going now.
I got a little bit nervous in terms of where they were positioned there for the 2v1. I thought maybe for an Archives hit they'd be in a position for a more immediate trade, but I was wrong in that assessment. But good rotation there from ACOG, able to hit behind to find the win. Yentai was running around security and break for the majority of the round and eventually netted 1. Jay Kenny here will be disappointed that he couldn't at least find his one in that particular position. And put it all onto Scars, who didn't have a read through Fountain, understandably so. And we discussed before that defensive rounds are going to come at a premium. So to kick off your defensive half with a round win is perfect for Outlast, and that is what has instigated this tactical timeout.
So 5 of the last 6 rounds for Outlast, most importantly winning the first round of this second half on defense. They are 2 rounds away from progressing into a semi-final and taking down Antic. It's honestly been a great series from these 2 teams. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and Bathroom and Tell as we go. In some ways, I'm going to feel a little bit upset for whoever loses this, and that's just the nature of it. Both teams have been very, very close. You could make arguments on both of the first 2 maps that the other maybe could have won. I think we definitely got the rightful winners, though, on both of the first 2 maps. Right now, though, Outlast have been the better on border, that's for sure. And it feels like the kind of map that has really played into their strengths. You know, what's crazy to think is that in the last 3 rounds, Relays hasn't even really played the game. So you've got a guy that was 12-1, running rampant in the first half, who then gets spawn peaked twice and then dies early on defense. Like, the best player, and who has been clearly the MVP of the whole series, and Outlast is still winning even without him, and that goes to show the strength of this team.
Yeah. Certainly a dangerous precedent set for the remainder of the half. An aggressive attacker repick here from Antic. And off the back of that tactical timeout, they're electing to go for a direct hit. Full stack. 4 at the window, Jake Kenner up above for the lurk. They're going to be playing straight into the Warden as well.
Do or die. Because if you lose this, it's 6-2, and it's a long way back from there. Deployable shield going up towards Bathroom. Goomine's thrown out. This is a lovely little angle from Ned. No Nitrocell from him. One for ACOG and for Relay. Smoke is out. Shield in as well
he's
from the Blitz.
He's EMP'd. He can't use his goggles.
Can't use the glasses right now. Relays over the Nitrocell. That does still work as we see, again, not really going to be able to get this plant down. Outlast have done a decent job in denying this push from Antic. Antic have pulled back. They've lost the Blitz. This actually may lose them the round, guys, and maybe the map thereafter.
What's the plan B? Maybe even plan C territory at this point, because Jack Kenner on the lurk hasn't found anything either. But Chef does, so that's big. Diffuser on an island, but they can work the rest of the map and trying to claim it back, but a big shot from Ned.
Shot through the wall. So unfortunate for Lunchbox. Antic on the ropes. The referee is counting. And it feels like maybe the knockout blow is coming. Shot from Jay Kenner. Oh, Jakey though wakes up. Huge double kill. And suddenly, maybe off the canvas, Antic could find themselves stealing this 8th round.
Yeah, that plan C of the lurk potential working out here for the attack, but Ned anchoring sight still. Should win this swing. Oh, but he doesn't.
Scars.
Are you kidding me?
On the glass, wins against Ned, and suddenly ACOG in a 1v3. Jay Kenner and Chef Jeff are both very low. Could ACOG do the unthinkable and win a 1v3? Repositions bot metal and making his way around Scars with the drone, but doesn't catch ACOG's position, at least not initially. May do so right now behind him.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
ACOG is just praying.
Yeah,
there's the drone.
Round over.
And that, as you said, should be round over with the plant down successfully. And Antic will find a 3rd round because of Jay Kenner. And Jay Kenner indeed to be the one to finish off the round. Not out of this one just yet, but for a brief moment, it seemed like they were.
Yeah, it was a big salvage attempt in that round. Antic were fully invested into the direct hit. Jay Kenner was the only player not on that stack. He was lurking elsewhere, and then he was the big win con getting back into the round. We saw the early EMP there from the Thatcher to counter the goggles from Ned, but it didn't really have much of a negative impact towards that defensive hold. Unfortunately, though...
You win that, though, that 1v1, and you probably win the round.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Or at least you're far more likely to. You lose it, though, and you've effectively lost it. So, huge round 1 by Antic. The first plan of attack clearly not working, but in the end able to hold out and get themselves a decent round win. 5-3 on the scoreboard. Outlast might just be ruining the opportunity that was presented in that 8th round. You may not get a better opportunity to get to that 6th round than that. We'll see what is in store for us for what's been a fascinating quarterfinal. Again, a reminder, the loser of this map is done for this stage outside of a 5th place match, which really won't mean a lot. The winner plays tomorrow in a semi-final against Chiefs. What a game that promises to be.
Yeah, I wonder if we see any of these maps repeated in that series. What Chiefs are thinking in the background watching this one from afar. They certainly won't be anticipating an easy match against either roster, I wouldn't imagine. It's been a volatile game. Mixed performances across the 3 maps for pretty much every single player inside of the lobby at the moment. Both rosters looking for that final push towards the finish line. Outlast 2 away from confirming the series. Bit of a taller mountain to climb though for Antic, but they do have the favoured site here on border for OCE. It's been very attacker-sided. The Deimos returns. We saw it a lot back on the first map of Lair from Jay Kenner. He was able to apply a little bit of vert pressure, but it wasn't largely successful in finding kills. So we'll see what value it's able to provide here in round 9.
The Anti was droned out in security, and now the death mark to add further information onto his position.
Oh, no one watching 90.
Jay Kenner. Big opening kill from him. Ned gets cleared by Scars. Antic having a very dominant round. We haven't seen too many dominant rounds from them. Nitrocell from Relays off the back of the cardiac sensor, but it misses entirely. Makes his way up Metal and hoping to maybe catch someone from Antic, not in a position, expecting that flank. ACOG, big kill onto Hunter. They need more, but he will fall 2v4 now in favor of Antic, and surely a winnable round, a very winnable round now. To go to 5-4 and to really make Outlast kick themselves for not closing it out in that 8th round to get to that 6th magical number. Pressure from above, Scars tormenting the opposition. He goes to double-digit kills, joining Jay Kenner for Antic. One back for Relays, who's been quiet over the last, say, 20 minutes. As amazing as his start was, he has cooled off well and truly. Gets one. Now unlikely to get another, though, after not winning that exchange.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
14 kills for Relays, but now with the UMP in hand in the face of a 1 versus 3. We'll take an almighty effort from here, and nobody from the attack offering an in. Except for Box, who does give an opportunity. 30 seconds on the fuse.
Just got to send it, hope for the best. You know he was around there. But you also don't know where Chef Jeff is over towards bathroom. He wants to try and clear him out. He may actually clear him out. He does clear him out. 13 seconds though, no time guards, and that's going to be the biggest factor here. So 5-4.
Compromised.
Not much else to really say at this point. Round is done. And the timeout has been called for Outlast Gaming as well. Tactical, of course, and that is now a 5-4 scoreline. They looked dead and gone. Antic were essentially on the verge of being down 6-2, and we're now looking at a 5-4 scoreline. That is a huge turnaround.
So that play there, first one in the replay. How could that have been prevented by the defense, Jake? We saw Scars look at the default camera. Nobody was watching that default camera. Who was dead? Bailey. What was he doing? Watching his teammate. Not watching cams. If you're not getting kills, you need to watch cams. Basic Siege. Lads, come on. If you had spotted him, Ned probably would have won that kill. Probably plays the round out very differently.
Yeah, potentially.
I hope I'm right there. I'm pretty sure he was dead at that point in time. I could have watched it. I immediately looked down and he was not looking at cams, so I'm assuming that was the case. But
I mean, either way, 2 rounds that have gotten away from Outlast as they've looked to try and close out this map. All our games today have been 7-5 and 7-5. And when I say all, I just mean the first 2 maps of this series, of course.
I'm just looking back to make sure I wasn't ragging on Bailey unfairly. I feel a little bit bad. I want to make sure I'm actually 100% sure. Obviously, sometimes default cameras aren't being watched when all 5 players on the defense are up, especially on a super active map like Border, where everyone's actively in gunfights, typically speaking, or fighting for some kind of map control.
So Armory and Archives for the 10th round. Can Antic make it 5-5? Scars has really stood up. Jay Kenner's had a great border after a really poor opening 2 maps. Fortunately for Hunter, it's been a real struggle.
5 seconds to go. Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
So here we go, 10th round.
Yep, if he got straight on cams, he would have caught him. There's a couple second window, but those are the kinds of difference makers, especially on Border, right? Couple of seconds can make or break setups and rounds. Like, it's super thin margins.
Another drone coming Bailey's way. So the pressure rises here late into this 3rd map. And this is where moments are made. You'll get your moment, you'll get your chance, and it's all about just capitalizing when it presents. Got to be ready. Antic really must be perfect from here to get themselves at least to that 6th round margin, to at least confirm OT at minimum.
Entire again lurking around on Vigil. We've seen that ACOG have impact throughout the series. Bailey now under pressure. 2 kills this map. Key position over towards security. About to get verted from down below, but has the hatch for coverage. Bailey needs to be good for one here. Almost caught up on the boost. Good reposition.
Does get traded, but he does at least take one with him. That was Scars, who's been really impactful so far for Antic. So that's a decent kill for Bailey, considering the position that he was playing, to at least get one. Another drone shot out. There's only 3 drones remaining in this round. So in terms of the drone economy for Antic, it's lackluster. Admittedly, not as required on a site like Armory and Archives, but still something to consider. Down to 2 drones with that one just thrown in towards site. 2 nitrocells available for Outlast, along with a couple of impacts too. Gumine stepped on. Hunter goes prone. Pulls it out. 60 seconds remaining in this pivotal 10th round. Antic so far unable to break the defense. EE1D called out by Jay Kenner. Big battle over towards server. Relays Winter, 5 HP, but a battle won against Chef. No buckvert from below. That's a huge win for Outlast.
Oh, long line of sight, and Jay Kenner again getting to work with the DMRs. Relays as well, 5 HP, but Ned able to clutch up big time. Good grenade from Jay Kenner, does dislodge that position.
Needs to get 2 more. It's all down to Jake. With 30 seconds remaining, what can he do on this Ash? ACOG, Nitrocell ripped and thrown over, but Lunchbox will push past it, so I thought it was Jacob. It's Lunchbox! Oh! He got it both! Lunchbox goes massive! How does he win that? Well, he channeled what feels like Jay Kenner there at the end to win from that scenario. Wow, 5-5 and another opportunity that Outlast will be feeling like they've really let go. Really, out of the last 3 rounds that have played, 2 of those, you could argue, should have gone to Outlast.
Yeah, but to find that opening pick, an immediate trade. Relay did a good job in disrupting vert potential down below, and then Jay Kenner got to work with both the DMR and the grenade for half wall. 2v1. And it's just an awkwardly timed swing. The second Relays goes wide. ACOG went back to half wall. Played out magically for Box. Had to land the shots though, and he did.
But doesn't it always just come back to the peak game, right? Now in that instance, you peak together and you're probably less critical. Because if you peak together, that's a little bit different than just solo peaking. But it just didn't look convincing. And the way that Lunchbox was positioned, he was still able to kind of create this little 1v1 and then into a second 1v1. Do you even need to peek in that scenario? Play the time, there's little remaining. Force him to clear you. You can play the trade as well. ACOG can just hold, and if ACOG dies, you swing the doorway, get a free kill.
Yep. Just a little bit of indecision, I believe. And again, reflective of the pressure that continues to, I would describe as boil over inside of the server.
Well, they're running out of chances now, Outlast, and I feel like the spirits have probably never been higher for Antic off of that round win. The young Lunchbox clutching up, getting the double kill. That surely would just invigorate the rest of the team. Jay Kenner getting that final kill with a nade as well late in that round, certainly helping and aiding the scenario with a frag grenade. And here we are again for the 3rd time in 3 maps. It's 5-5.
Oh.
And it's Lunchbox who continues on his menacing ways from the double kill to close out the last round, and now the opening kill onto Bailey to start this one. No Legion, no Goo Mines. And Outlast must now be sweating. They really could have, really should have been up 6-2. Yentire, though, while they needed that one, and alleviates some concerns, but not all of it.
Yeah, diffuser on the deck as well, although that may not have been spotted by defense. Chef again down below looking for vertical opportunities. Last time around he was contested. Jay Kenner on the receiving end of some damage as he looks to find the head of ACOG, but a superior angle from up above inside of Archives. Outlast looking to consolidate these positions. Minute 30 on the clock, so time now beginning to tick for the attack. Relays 17 kills, locking down break. Oh, his position is known though.
Yeah, he's being held by Scars. Can they get
Vert
someone to help off? Chef! Relays with the Nitrocell though, deals with Scars.
No.
Chef feeling as if maybe that was an opportunity missed for Antic. Oh, nope. Relays just like, no, open up, let me in. Box dead to Ned. Outlast regaining control of this 11th round. And soon about to gain themselves match and series point off the back of it, unless Jake Kenner can do something on 4 HP. No, shut down. Down to Sheffy Jeffy. What can he cook? Nothing. Match and series point for Outlast here in the quarterfinal. 6-5 lead.
That must be a very relieving feeling, at least momentary moment of relief for Outlast. Finally able to scrap together a round win from a good position. Didn't help themselves in the early phase, losing Bailey in that regenerative util, but Yentai stepped up to the mark, was able to retake that position, find a really nice kill, and then the rest of the defense able to consolidate, and the trade there at the end does indeed hit its mark. Back-to-back primary sites, or I suppose secondary site, in the sense that Bathroom Intel's is quite popular as well for many teams, and going to be their best opportunity to close it out.
We have not seen Outlast win a round defensively outside of Armory and Archives. Make of that as you will, but so far that has been the only site they've been able to successfully defend. In fact, outside of Armory and Archives, only one other site has been won defensively, and that was Customs. We have not seen this site won by the defense so far in this quarterfinal. Outlast will have double defense in OT, provided Antic win this. Something to consider.
But is that really?
But is that
a
what
blessing
you
or
want?
a curse
Yeah,
on border,
that's,
right?
that's the thing. In some ways, I guess you can go straight to Armory Archives, get yourself onto overtime match point, and then maybe play the attack. Could be. Certainly been the site. Well, let's not talk about OT just yet. So far, 7-5 on Lair. 7-5 on Clubhouse. Will it be 7-5 on border? Antic. And we're on the verge of having their major dream crushed. There is no second chances in this region.
No, he's going to be the one to step up for Antic in this round. Kenner up to 13 kills, and he's had some huge rounds. If it wasn't for his performance this evening here on border, this match probably would have been wrapped up a little while ago. Some big clutch plays from him.
He's repaid the faith, hasn't he, from the opening 2 maps?
Yeah.
And from the whiff from behind the desk, he's been great. Contact made. Bailey, though, on the wrong side of it for Outlast, but he does stay alive with the Fenrir. It's been a rough one for Bailey. Can he maybe have a moment here? Relays on the verge of dropping 20. Peeky from Scars. It's Lunchbox that does get the opening kill onto ACOG. That is perfection for Antic. They deal with the Warden. They get the opening pick. 90 seconds left. Vent control? No.
Oh, I lost it.
Box losing the battle against Ned. Yellow ping information, but Yentai doesn't want to shoot the barricade. Oh, more yellow ping. You just spotted him. Hard left. Rotates around. Fakes the run back. Chef Jeff, though, went hunting and lost his life. 3 versus 3. Make it 2, though. Now only remaining for Antic. And this might be them falling apart.
70 seconds then on the clock, and it could be the last 70 seconds in the stage for Antic.
Jake Hanna.
He's been so good tonight, but now he needs to step up again. It's possible.
He has the help. Scars gets the kill onto Ned. Bailey's also very low and hasn't really been frag heavy. A lot of pressure now onto Yentai. 50 seconds on the clock remaining.
They have the flash util as well to flush him out. It just takes one shot from either player to find the kill.
Bailey somewhat hoping that he gets miscleared and may. Oh, the trigger discipline here is perfect. They may not know that he's inside a bathroom. The swing coming in, Scars towards main lobby. Yentai gets rid of Jake Kenner. He gets them both, and this is over. Outlast will claim victory in this quarterfinal matchup. Antic are out. They're done. They cannot progress to the major. For Outlast, well, their fate now rests against Chiefs tomorrow in a semi-final.
Yeah, it really does have the makings of a fairy tale run for Outlast. Great start to the stage, tapered off, but they have come back in fine form for their first best of 3, knocking out one of the teams that we thought was going to be a contender for the tippity top.
It certainly went all the way. 7-5, 7-5, 7-5. What a result! Outlast progressed through to the semi-final. Unfortunately for Antic, their run is over. They will be playing in a 5th place matchup tomorrow, so we won't see the last of them, but they can no longer make the major. Over to the desk as they break